Mr. Howard. Let's do this thing. Is she coming back from lunch right now? We'll be on chapter uh, 15. Let's see. Chapter, so many terms, 1,000 terms. Once I have all 1,000 terms down, we'll be good. We're going to be on topic 13C. Topic 13C, application attack vectors, indicators. Gotcha. Page 343, 399, page 399, 12C, data sources. We got dashboards on, that's just on the third video, okay, we did packet captures, okay, on the PCAP, that will come at, use a PCAP for this network. Then we get into Wireshark plain text, talk about metadata, talk about attributes of a file. Where are they? File has attributes, and these are all the metadata. What is metadata? Test question. And there we talk about websites have cookies. Email has internet header. CDR has this. That's my Cisco CUCM. Okay, chapter 12, Delta, and that's going to be on alerting. We're going to talk about my seams. I'm going to provide me a seam. That's my goal. Sexes, actions of a seam. X a beam is a seam. We've got, we talk about port mirroring. And what's port mirroring? Definition and test question on that. Okay, camera's on. They can't see me. I know when I hear them, we'll be ready to go. Make sure my mic is nice and at 70, 60. We'll put at 60. So that's how it sounds. 61. That's 62. I'll turn it up. So much background noise. Okay. Port mirroring, alerting, towing, alerting. These are alerting opportunities. Correlation, reporting, and archiving. Alert tunneling. And we got that on timestamp to 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 0 seconds. Talk about threshold. What is a threshold? Alert threshold. Yeah. So my alert threshold tomorrow. That is going to be different for my company. And here's a note about utilization. There's a real trick question. It's going to be a test question on this. That is that if the utilization of 75% is that high, the answer is it depends. It's one of those it depends answers, right? I know, I hate that crap. It depends on the network and the company you're working for. Each person, each company is different, have a different utilization. Next, we'll talk about redirects. There's a company, here comes some more attacks. A redirect sudden alert. If you don't know what that is, it's called a redirect sudden alert. Or redirect sudden flood. Okay. Redirect sudden flood. Can't wait. Yeah. Redirect sudden flood. It's gonna alert false positive floods. Alright, we got a lot of information. Yeah, NetFlow. We're talking about the NetFlow programming. Yes. Order that. Your knowledge base. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I have access. It's proprietary. So you have to work for a company that lets you have it. PRNG monitor. These are the best seams. What is data loss prevention? DLP. What's definition? Actually put in what kind of test question I practice on. Tells us what's called a SCAP, SCAP tool. It's a tool. does pretty much gap analysis of the network, but it's really the definition is it tells us the best practice of where our environment should be at. Okay, page 365, chapter 13. Most okay. We got Trojans. Oh gee. And we'll go there, type them okay. Malware classifications. 3 types of classifications. What are different types of malware? No, don't do that. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Control V. Control B. What are the 3 types? Computer viruses. Computer virus malware. Spyware keyloggers. Okay. Then we have what types of, there's some more. I guess you can look at all of them. I got more. Will that be on the tracking cookie? Right, we have the spyware malware. Right, keyloggers. This would be, okay, we got a whole bunch of these. So the malware classification in 313A, we're dealing with some of the programs in the framework for inverted spam scanners. So this will be on page 372 and malware classification. Okay. Next we got the malware classifications. We get into the Trojans, the PUPs. So this is kind of breaking down some things. Worms types, adware, spyware, keylogger, otherwise known as Trojans. And that's going to be on page 372. We got computer virus. On the computer viruses, we got some definite terms. Okay. What we got back here? All right. Okay. Computer virus. We got non-residents. There's some good ones right here. This is gonna be good. This would be a non-resident file. Good. Next. Memory resident. Next. Bot. A boot. There's a boot virus. I gotta check on the master these. Then a script virus. And macro virus. 4 different types. Okay, I'm gonna memorize that. Next, okay, this the light is it's getting sun's going down on the side, so it's getting dark over here. From there, we get into computer forms and files. Test. Okay, nobody hear me yet. Good. All right, and we're going to talk about worm, which we kind of, there's viruses and there's worms. So what is a worm? Next we get, what is that worm? An advanced persistent threat. Got it. Okay. ADP. Get it. Got it. Good. Then we get into spyware. That's APT, advanced persistent. That's a test question. So then a practice exam. Advanced persistent threat. This would be important. All right. Now, make sure you in the chat. Let's see if he's back yet. Oh, he says give him a minute. Okay, cool. He's back. Okay, he's back. All right, he sees me. That was 1 minute ago. Okay, so they're back. All right, they got these restaurant, advanced precision threat. Okay, and then we get into from there spyware, and we got 5 types spyware and keyloggers. And so we got, there we go. So that's another one. Tracking cookies, super cookies, beacons, adware, keylogger. Then we get backdoor access. Okay, so now we'll move forward.
Thank God for you.
All right.
Check 1, check 2.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good to go.
Copy loud and clear. Roger that. All right.
So we left off at 13C.
Yeah.
And we went had a good lunch.
Oh, good. Hey, where did y'all go?
So we're at catch up in my book here.
And where did y'all go? Did y'all go to Taco Mat?
I went to the gym.
Oh, okay.
Once again.
Okay.
So I didn't eat lunch. I just worked out.
Okay.
What about you? Where'd you go?
I was here studying. I'm working on this chapter 13.
I don't think anybody ate.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm just catching up in my book and just reading through. See if we missed anything. Oh wow, they talk about silver tickets now.
Oh, silver tickets. Okay.
Yeah, that's Kerberos. It's just a Kerberos attack.
Okay.
And somebody's trying to intercept their ticket.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked about that. That's possible. Pass the hash attack is possible with Kerberos, but I didn't get into it because that's a SysB concept.
Ah.
Gold tickets, there's silver tickets, all kind of different types of tickets. Alright, replay, cross-site scripting, yeah, vertical, horizontals in the book. Talk about all that. Where are we at? I think I skipped it in the book. Sorry.
Yeah. And we left off on cloning and skimming and data lateral movement.
We're right here, application attacks. I'm just trying to find it in the book.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find the page. Alright, 13C. I see where we're at.
Okay.
So I kind of skipped ahead in the book because I'm reading. I'm like, oh, we talked about all this stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
This book's getting a little too repetitious for me.
Yeah.
I like repetition, but I feel like I keep repeating myself a lot now.
Yeah.
So again, the purpose of any type of attack for a hacker is to gain what's called privilege escalation. And all privilege escalation is to get an admin account. So we talked about the difference between vertical, horizontal pivoting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
All right. We talked yesterday. We talked about buffer overflow attack.
Yeah, you did.
So, they're talking about, and we talked about. I even showed you guys in the book ASLRDEP. I even showed you where that was located in Windows. All right. Next slide. We talked about replay attacks. The thing, and I'm okay with replay attacks showing up over and over and over again. The thing that we just need to know about replay attacks is they can happen anywhere in the organization.
Okay.
Right? We can replay or attack from a session that somebody's logged into and gain access. We can replay or attacks with tickets that we might have stolen. The best way to mitigate replay attacks without going over all the different ways we can perform replaying is to make sure that we have some type of expiration attached to whatever they stole. So if they logged into my session and they stole my cookies got to expire. So if they logged into my Windows and stole my token's got to expire. Right? So one way to mitigate against replay attacks is to make sure that whatever they've stolen has some type of expiration. Right? Or in this case, they're talking about managing these things that give access to our network. So we can delete our cookies, so somebody can't come into our session and steal our cookies. Those are found in the browser. I think we all know cookies from growing up in Internet Explorer and deleting your cookies.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
All right. So yes, if they do steal your cookies, then they can use those cookies as an attempt to hijack your session, gain access to whatever website that you logged into. We talked about, and I showed you an example And I even told you yesterday there's two ways that we can write cross-site request forgery attack. Right? So there's the two ways. And I mentioned that's when the website takes advantage of the user's trust. So the whole analogy of I've transferred $100 from my brother's account, from my account to my brother's account, call my brother, you can get the money. What happened in that particular incident is I trusted the website to do something, but the website took advantage of my trust. Is what a cross-site request forgery attack is. Server-side request forgery attack. Well, this is happening on the server's end, where the other one's happening on the client's end. So on the server end, it causes a server application to process an arbitrary request that targets another service. The target service could be an application on the same host or a service running on a remote host. Server-side request forgery attacks exploits both the lack of, we don't have proper authentication, username passwords between me and the server I'm connecting to or the services that I'm using on that server. It relies on weak input validation. So we talked about yesterday the best way to mitigate against any of these application-based attacks, whether it's a SQL injection attack, LDAP injection attack, right, or buffer overflow, or anything where we're inputting data into a database, is perform input validation. That's something they mentioned on OWASP as well on that website. And we also talked about a tool that can allow us to automate input validation, buzzing tool. Buzzer is going to automatically input random data to test to make sure that attacks can't happen. All right, so there's SQL, there's LDAP. There's that 1 equals 1. See that? That was a question we had this morning, right? Yeah. There's a or, there's a from, there's a where statement. So here this statement basically says, hey, look in a table where we have usernames, and here it's saying, I don't care what the username is. Basically, this is a blank parameter, or as long as there's a value, true, 1 equals 1 is true. As long as it's true, output that information from the database. XML, you can see XML code looks different. XML is indicative of these less than and greater than symbols. XML code is stuff that we use to program websites. So we can inject things into the programming of a website to either extract information from that website, manipulate, change it, or cause that website to crash. And LDAP is, like I said, Active Directory. So here you can see they're inputting or creating a user name, and they can even give themselves access privileges. We have seen, I'm sure, questions on homework by now. We've done 300 questions. So we've seen this directory traversal attack. Might have not known why at the time that's the answer. We're just going with what I marked, right? But anytime we see this dot slash, what's happening is they've gone and accessed the website, but then they've gone deeper in the website, and they tricked the website by typing in these dot slashes to gain access to a different directory on that website. And here they're going to the Etsy configuration directory. Now, as a user, I should not be able to go into your website and make config changes. But somehow they managed to, with directory traversal attacks, trick the website to give them access to directory, the config directory, which they should not have access to in the first place. Now, what's going on down here is the same thing, except instead of dot slash, we use 2e. 2e represents dot, and then 2f represents a slash. It's called percent encoding. There's a lot of percent encoding. We're not going to get into all of it, but we'll show you a cheat table just so you can see that percent encoding, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So we had 2e, 2e, 2f, right? There's 2e, see that dot? There's 2f, see that slash?
Yeah.
So you see how we're not going to get into it? Yeah. Have fun. You can look at it later. You don't need to know all that. All you need to know is this for Security Plus. 2e2f is the same thing as dot slash.
Okay.
And then we have URL. When people manipulate the URL, this is, there's percent encoding, by the way, that I just showed you. Right, so I just showed you percent encoding. There's lots of ways, and we can even see in this picture here. Percent 2F. 2F is that slash. Here's a percent 27. You have to go to the table to see what that is. Here's a percent 3E. Here's a percent 3C. You got to go to the table to find out what those percent encodings are. But there are ways to trick the URL to give me access to a place in that website that I don't have access to in the first place. I'm not sure where they're going with web server logs, but I do want to go back here because they do get a little bit deeper now into some of these HTTP methods. There's a get command. Get means go to that website and get this information, retrieve information. Post means to basically send information, and put means to put the information onto a particular place on that website. So we can use these commands as web developers, right, to retrieve information from a website, to send information on a website, and to put information onto the website. There's a website that allows you to play around with this. I'm trying to think of the website name. I'm trying to think of what I can search to recall that website. Not important, but I just wanted to see if I can remember what it was. It's pretty cool because I messed around on it and I kind of understood a little bit better. There's get, post, and put, and there's other commands that you can play with on that website. Give me a second. I'm just trying to ramble in my head. It's not in this book, and it's not even in this. It's not even in this certification. It's a different certification. Let's see. Has to do with Star Wars. Let's try to think of some keywords here. I guess put, get, post, and I don't know if it's going to pop up here. Yeah, it's an API. It's not this website though. I'm gonna recall this later. And it's not going to be later today. It's going to be probably tomorrow when I find it. I don't remember the website, gang.
Okay.
But anyways, it's a pretty cool website where you can actually tell it with the post command to send information, and you can see how it changes information about the website. But it's like a Star Wars website where you can change the way the website looks with some of these commands. So if I can change the way the website looks with these commands on that mock website. Imagine if somebody got into your website and defaced your website with these commands, or extracted information from your website with those commands. All right, back to web server logs. All right, I showed you percent encoding, showed you how many different types of percent encoding there are. That's on top of 406. And then bottom of 406, web server logs. Web servers typically configured to log HTTP traffic, that is web traffic, that encounters an error, traffic matches some predefined rule. This can preserve indicators of attempts and successful replay, forgery, and injection attacks. So all these attacks we've been talking about happen on websites. That's OWASP is for web and application databases. So yes, we have different status codes. I see where they're going with this. Status codes indicate on websites, and it's actually on that website too that I can't think of, the Star Wars API website, where I don't think in this class we have to memorize these status codes. I do think we have to be aware of what status codes tell us, that based on status codes, it can tell us if that web page loaded. You ever got 404 error going to a website? So it just says it's failed, right? So there's a whole website for web server status codes. And we kind of get into a little bit more in CCNA, where you do get tested on this, but you can see we don't have to know the actual numbers, but any 4 something error is a client error. Something bad happened, right? So 404, it starts with a 4, XX, it says whatever numbers after that. Just means something did not run right on that website. Anything that starts with a 5, server failed to fulfill a parent valid request. Anything that starts with a 2, that's good. Request is successful, understood, accepted. Anything that starts with a 1 is informational, and anything that's 3 says that it's redirected. Further actions to be taken to complete the request. So it's going to take us to a website where it didn't get our request, and then it's going to redirect us and says, hey, you got to do this, this, and this in order to get there. So yeah, there are status codes, and IANA we talk about in CCNA. I think we did talk about in this class. Did we talk about the magic table in this class? No. And no, not IANA. Did we talk about the magic table of 0s and 1s in this class? No, binary. Okay, all right. Then don't worry about it. That was last week. CISP. I thought we talked about it. I thought we talked about it in this class. Was it last week? Yeah, I taught CISP last week. I think it was last week because I was writing on the board in Alaska. So, but anyways, people always ask me about why do we have these private IPs? Why do we have these public IPs? Why do we have IP4 addresses? Why do we have IP6 addresses? Why does the internet work the way it works? These guys, I always say, blame them. IANA is the people who figured all this stuff out. Why are these error codes what they are? Blame these guys. All right? I don't know the answer to that. IANA sat down one day and said, this is going to be the standard. We're going to have these private IPs. We're going to have these public IPs. All right? So, it does say codes in a 400 range indicate errors. It does say in the book codes in a 500 client base, 500 server side. It doesn't talk about the 1, 2, to 3, but at least you know. So we have some output here. Get means retrieve information from this website. It's like they're using Mozilla Firefox. We don't have to be reading code here, but there's 200. See that? 200 means that it was able to successfully load, and here's 400. 400 means that we're having errors getting access to this particular website or retrieving information from this particular website because it's a get command. Robot.txt, that doesn't sound good. Nikito is a software. So this is a web vulnerability software. They must be running some web vulnerability scanning software on this. Maybe the browser's blocking it as it's running. So it does say there's additional status codes. We did look at those additional ones. Again, 200 is good. Somewhere with server software also logs HTTP header information on both request and response. This can provide a detailed picture of the makeup of each request or response, such as cookie information. So it does talk about Nikito apps running, right? You can see that in the book. And it does say it's generating multiple 404 errors as it tries to map the web application, because Nikito is a web vulnerability software tool. So it might see it as a something malicious, right? That is trying to scan the network. So it's sitting there trying to block these inquiries. That's 13. We had like 2 more slides left. I'm going to finish that before lunch. All right. Well, I'm happy so far with 701. I like it more than 601. From a teaching aspect, it's less information, and we're going to be able to get through it a lot more quickly than 501 or 601, which I could not barely finish in 4 days. Definitely can finish in 5 though. Where am I at? Talking to myself in ATG. Has anybody registered while I'm looking for this for the exam yet?
No,
No
not yet.
pressure. Okay. No pressure. Are we all clear on how to?
Yeah, is this,
No. So
I want to
so you
verify.
have
This
to
is a
go through
Pearson View, right?
it's Pearson View.
Yeah, yeah, my account.
You have to go through us. You can't schedule it on your own.
Okay,
You can call,
okay,
all right? The front desk, and our number is on our website, ATG Learning, just how you found us, right?
hmm
Or since you're here, you can just walk to the front desk and say, hey, I'm thinking in 2 weeks I would like to schedule my
Oh,
exam.
good. Okay.
Could you book it for me now?
Okay, good.
And they'll schedule it for you. And all you gotta do is show up.
Yeah.
But you gotta say that you gotta tell us first when you want to schedule an exam.
Okay.
So here's atglearning.com. Phone number. There's a phone number. 252-9611. So you can call that number, and it rings those guys at the front. Don't call Kathy. What I'm
Okay.
trying to say.
hmm
She's not gonna. She'll help you, but it's not her job.
Gotcha.
All right, 14. 26 slides. Let's see. I mean, we're almost at the end of the book. I can physically see that. 23 slides. Risk management. That's going to be stuff we've already talked about. I don't think there's really anything we have not yet talked about. Maybe some backup, ways to back up our data. We haven't talked about incremental full differentials. We haven't talked about RAID yet. So there's a couple things we have yet to talk about. This is we already talked about. No, we haven't talked about that yet. Okay. So yeah, it gets shorter and shorter. All right, 14. Summarizing security governance concepts. This word governance, remember, we talked about that on Monday. We talked about if you've seen that movie, The Purge. And Purge basically is saying that we have no government. We shut the government down for days, so there's no law and order. People went crazy. We do need to have some type of law and order, and that's what policies, standards, and procedures implement in an organization. They all differ, right? Definition-wise. Policies. So we've talked about this one.
Yep. Acceptable
You
use
use your phone to
policy.
sell drugs. That was Monday. Now it's not acceptable use policy. Information security policies. There's lots of information security policies that we've talked about, or if we just talk about this word right here, security policies that we've talked about throughout the week. And you can see everything that we talked about: disaster recovery plans, business continuity plans, incident response plans. We talked about all that throughout the week. In case of a disaster, we know where to go: hot, cold, warm site. In case our business not continue to run, we know what are things that are critical for our business to continue to run. So we use this thing called quantitative assessment and a qualitative assessment, right? We talked about that in this class yet?
Yep.
Quantitative, qualitative assessment.
Yeah, it's in my notes. Yeah, I see your notes.
Yeah. I know it's a lot of info.
That's good, yeah.
SDLC, software development lifecycle. I know we have not talked about that yet, so I'm just reading here from the book. Software development lifecycle policy governs how we develop software. So we did talk about the secure DevOps approach, where we have security team, development team, and operations team. They all collaborate and work together as one team, so that we have a good, nice, developed, secure app that does what it's supposed to do. Yep. But we can use this framework, this guide, this principle here, this SDLC principle to develop software in a secure way, right? And remember, we talked a little bit about making sure we have peer review, right? Somebody else to look over it. We talked about static analysis, dynamic analysis. So all that goes into SDLC, right? But there is a step-by-step process when it comes to stages in this software development lifecycle. Change management. We talked about the purpose of why we want to perform change or configuration management. Anytime we make a change, we got to let people know. Typically, we would send an email out. Hey, Friday, systems are down for maintenance. Please finish your work before systems go down. Right? By telling people, it mitigates the risk of maybe I had work to do at 3. Now I'm going to push that work up an hour to make sure that I can get that work turned in on time. Or maybe payroll is paying people on Friday. Then I'm going to push payroll to Thursday to make sure people do get paid on Friday. So anytime we make a change, we also talk about how we want to do what's called a rollback plan. If that change does not go right on Friday, I have to have a plan to roll back to before I made that change. And we always, like I said, we want to do something called a RFC, request for change. So before I make a change, I'm going to send an email to a group of people. They're called the CAB, Change Advisory Board.
That's right.
And the CAB's job is to either deny or approve that change. So change management, we have an RFC, request for change. We have the CAB, their job is to approve the change. We have a rollback plan. If it doesn't go right, roll that right. Doesn't go right, we go back to previous. We obviously have a testing phase here before we push into production. What else did I just talk about? Change management. Oh, and the purpose. Mitigate risk.
Great point there. This and that. Okay.
We already talked about the incident response plan. There's 7 phases now. I'm not going to type them all out here. Verbally preparation. After that, detection. Then we have analysis. Then we have containment. Then we have eradication, recovery, lessons learned. We talked about the co-op. We talked about how hard it is to uphold the co-op. That means that I have a relationship with a hospital. It's 5 minutes down the street. And I say, can you guys allow me to move some of my patients to your bed in the event that I don't have any beds here, right? To allow my business to continue to run. We agree, we handshake verbally, pandemic breaks out, can't hold it up. Can't hold up to that bargain. All right, AEP, I already talked about that. They don't expand on security policies because why? There's so many of them. How many security policies we talked about throughout the week. All right, so terms, definitions, a guideline. The first day of class, we looked at something called a cybersecurity framework. That's where we have that red team and blue team. And I was saying that another term for a framework is a guide, or sometimes I call it best practice. We don't have to follow the guide, right? This is what I tell class, right? I say, I go to Walmart, I'll buy a desk. And I have to put the desk up at my house. So I as a man, I put the desk up by looking at pictures and the best way that I know how, because I put plenty of desks up in the past. Wife walks in the room and she sees some screws that are still in the box. She's like, you put the desk up, but there's a lot of screws there. You didn't use all the screws, you didn't follow the guide. I'm like, nah, I didn't follow the guide. I need the guide, look at the desk. What's up? Right? So a guide is something I can use to perform a task, but do I have to use it to perform a task? No. And anything you open up comes with a guide in it, right? Okay. Procedures, what military does. Procedures are step by step. Step by step. So typically you guys will write SOPs for your job, right? If you call out sick, there's an SOP somebody else can read to perform your job duties.
That's right.
Procedures, that's really I want to define other than that, but other than we know that's an SOP, standard operating procedure. Personnel management. So we had a whole chapter on talk about identity access management. That's that AAA chapter. Identify, authenticate, authorize, and accounting. We talked about the types. Type 1, type 2, type 3, something I know, something I have, something I am. HR is responsible for verifying if we hire somebody that they're going to do identity proofing. You say that you got a Security Plus cert, HR is going to go out there and verify that you have that. You're going to perform background checks before they hire you. I'm not sure where they go with operations working. It's often HR department that manages the communication of policies and training to employ. Okay, so here did is just talk about when you get hired, HR is going to go over all the policies with you. These are things we're allowed to do. These are things we're not allowed to do. And HR is also responsible for firing, unfortunately. All right, they get blamed for stuff that's not even their fault. Your manager fired you, not HR, but they have to deliver the bad news a lot of times. So they look at bad guys. HR is part of the onboarding process. They're the ones that are going to basically give you a tour of the company, introduce you to people, sit you in a room, go over your benefits and all that kind of good stuff, and make sure you got what you need. So onboarding provisions your equipment, provisions you an account. You might get a parking pass, a badge, a picture, all of that stuff. Huh? That's the good side of HR. Oh yeah, it's the good side. Yeah, they smile and then they backstab you later. You know, too many people have actually been hiring. I had the most evil, and I mean, this lady was evil HR. Now I wasn't on her bad side; I was on her good side because I was a contractor. I worked for MSP, so they contracted us our services. So all I was responsible for was supporting the infrastructure. But every time somebody got fired on Friday, I swear she'd be skipping to my desk smiling and saying, I need you to terminate so-and-so's account, 4 o'clock. But was happy. And I'm sad. I'm like, that's their livelihood. Yeah. Why are you smiling? Why are you happy? Why is this joyous occasion? You want to see grief on somebody's face. Yeah, they fired her eventually. She did get terminated. But they should have done it a long time ago. Long time ago. Because you're just not an HR person. You have no compassion. Yeah. We need somebody mean that has no heart. That was that person. Yeah. Playbooks. We use playbooks every single day. We just don't call them playbooks. Playbooks and run books. Let's read the definition of the book, and then I'm gonna give you my layman's term definition. Playbooks are essential for establishing and maintaining procedures. By establishing a central repository of well-defined standard strategies, tactics, they guide personnel to ensure consistency in operation and improve quality and effectiveness. Playbooks facilitate knowledge sharing, continuity as employee, moving into new roles, or leaving an organization. Playbooks also mitigate risk by documenting critical procedures and preserving institutional knowledge. Playbooks help new team members quickly learn established processes while existing team members have reference point. You think of this as a knowledge base, KB article, knowledge base.
Yeah.
Right, where you keep all the information that you've done throughout your entire work.
Yep.
Right? Somebody comes new and says, "Hey, how do you do this?" Like a playbook. It's knowledge base.
Yep.
Playbooks act as a tool for quality assurance and continuous improvement. Clearly defining processes and best practices to handle makes it easier to identify and improve problem areas. Using playbooks, organizations can monitor and use the effectiveness of procedures over time, modify them as necessary to foster an environment of continual learning. Playbooks are essential for incident response. Now, I had a person in my class ask me if there's an issue when I go to work, is there something that I can read to resolve that issue? I said, no. That's why you get hired. That's why you're hired as an IT. We don't have a strategy to say, if this happens, go to page 23 and do this. Right? Because the beauty of IT is you never know what's going to happen, what's going to be, what you have to break and fix. And there's different ways to fix different type of issues. So you don't get into IT for the money, you get into IT for the love of it.
Right.
Because you have to keep up to date with changing technologies.
That's right.
Nobody's gonna train you on Windows 11 when it comes out. You have to train the employees that now you have to support this Windows 11. It gets installed on everyone's machine, and they're gonna be calling you saying, "Hey, I used to go to here to get to this, and I don't know how to get to it any longer." Nobody's gonna tell you. You got to go. And I remember I learned this a hard way because they went from Windows. I've been in it for a minute, but there was a big change in the operating system. I think it was from XP to 7. I don't think it was 7 to 10, but it was like XP to 7. There's a big change in where things were located and how to get to things. So it was a huge learning curve, is what I'm saying. And I wasn't ready for the learning curve. Right? I was behind the end users because I was just as dumbfounded as them. Like, I don't know where it is either. Right? So that's why I upgraded to Windows 11 way long ago. Right? Before anybody else is going to be on Windows 11, because I wanted to be using it for a long time so I could figure it out. Right? Be familiar with it. But anyways, so that's what they talk about here. Yes, there's not a playbook for every incident. In real life, I'm just saying in real life, we don't have playbooks for every single thing that could happen wrong in your environment. But we should have some type of documentation, at least, that you can go to and reference, especially if it's something specific to that environment. Like, I don't know how many printers you have on that floor, or I don't know where to put the printer ink when the ink runs out. Do we replace the printer ink? Do we call a printer technician? I need to know that stuff. Right? Now, how to fix things, we don't have playbooks for that, right? Because things are going to break all the time, and I can't have 4,000 pages of all these incidents. And we got tickets. You can go back to an old ticket and probably look it up, but not a book. So here's that change management. I kind of talked about things that happen in change management there at the bottom, but they don't mention anything here with request for change and roll. Oh, they do rollbacks here, right? Testing, right? Making sure we test it before we push it to production. Right? Purpose of change management, though, is to mitigate against risk. Now, offboarding. So HR is smiling. HR gives us this nice welcome package, right? We get VPN access. We can work from home, right? We have our CAT cards, and then we get terminated. Now we got to think about what's everything that we gave that employee when we hired them, because now we got to get it all back.
Right.
We gave you a docking station so you can work from home. We gave you a desk. Right? We gave you 2 computer monitors. I remember I've had people bring boxes of stuff, and they had been working from home for years, and they got terminated, and they had to drive, that embarrassing drive to work with the boxes, because they got terminated and bring all their stuff back.
Wow.
But that's part of the offboarding, right? Where we basically revert everything we did and take away access, so people can't gain access after they've left. So it's important we have this policy in place, procedures. Charge them for it. Or that last check, you ain't getting it. Standards, unlike guides, right? Standards, unlike guides, we have to do a standard. Standard is something you must do. So you think about it like this. You ever type in the password and it says your password does not meet the password policy standards? Try again.
Yeah.
Standard is something you must do.
Yeah.
But passwords aren't always going to be a standard. If somebody says we recommend your password be 8 characters, the word there, recommend, is not a standard.
Right.
If it says your password must be 7 characters, that's a standard. Recommended is not a standard. You got to read the question. It says, which of the following 4 options below is an example of a standard? People tend to go straight to that password example because that's what I use in class. But I always tell people, just because it says the password should be 7 characters, well, that word should is not the word must. Yeah, I always elaborate now. So an example of a standard could be all PCs must have Windows 10 Service Pack 3 installed. That's a standard. It's very specific, and every machine must have that particular standard on it in order for it to be in the network. Must have Windows 10 Service Pack 3 installed. That's a standard. No, they're going to probably use the word must. Yeah. So they talk about HIPAA here. We're going to talk about HIPAA, talk about PCI DSS. We talked about that. We talked about a cloud framework that we haven't talked about. It's in my notes though. ISO 2717 and ISO 2718. I'm on page 414, towards the bottom, third paragraph. These are frameworks or standards. Again, I would say this is more of a framework, but they're saying that we would use this framework as a standard way of setting up a secure cloud environment.
Yeah.
That's actually on your homework, by the way. 2717, 2718. So 2717, you see right here?
Yeah.
And 18.
I studied it.
Yeah. And I got it in red because it's typically a testable test question.
Yeah, I saw that.
The 2701 is a framework. And any of these 27s, by the way, these are what are called ISO, International Standard Organization. So that's that word standard. I consider them frameworks. It basically states that if my company resides outside the United States, there's several ISOs that are written that tells me how to implement security for clouds, for example, or how to implement security for my entire environment, my infrastructure and physical, technical, administrative control types. Right? This one's cloud specific. This one is specific to how to secure people's data, PII, 27701.
Yeah.
These are all actually all in 415. And I'm looking onto the next page. NIST has standards for passwords. NIST has a standard called NIST 63. I think we talked about that yesterday. I even looked it up in class. We were talking about passwords. So yes, we do have to know that. NIST 63B is the password policy standard. We're going to talk about PCI DSS, credit card payments.
It's in a class. Here you
And
go,
FIPS.
to the right.
FIPS is for federal organizations and how to implement cryptography. Cryptocurrency. Cryptography.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all that cryptography, symmetric, asymmetric hashing, all that comes from FIPS.
Gotcha. That's why I studied that.
So looks like I'm going to have to add a NIST. Before we didn't have to know any NIST. Now we have to know the NIST 863. The password.
Gotcha. All right.
Policy standards.
NIST. Okay, that's NIST. Gotcha.
Turn that from
All right,
red.
you know,
Turn the whole thing red. Yeah.
yeah, turn that red. I get you there. Okay. Okay. You got it. Okay. 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 Got it.
Yeah, you're lucky that's all you gotta know. CISP,
Oh, it's gonna be raw for CSP. I'm gonna get ready though. Don't get ready.
it's a lot of
Lot of
NIST
terms.
You gotta know.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them.
Lot of
All right. Next page. As I'm scanning the next page, we go back to my PowerPoint.
Okay.
Alright. Desktop deployment. I mean, that's part of onboarding. It's part of onboarding. And like I said, there might be a standard of how we deploy all our desktops. You gotta have a keyboard, 2 monitors, a mouse, and a printer.
Right.
Try to think of any standard that we had. I think we had a standard where we had.
Hey, bro, you can come put it right here, man. Oh,
one
put it right there, bro.
monitor.
You can put it right over here.
Requested
You
two.
got it, yeah. No, it's good.
HR, put a little logo
It's good.
package on
They
there,
can't hear you.
notepad, pen,
Guys,
stuff
I
like
got you
that.
on mute.
Welcome.
They can't hear you.
But to be honest, when they got to one company, there was no standard. It was so unorganized when we talk about onboarding at that company that when people got hired, they didn't know their information as far as their username, passwords, or anything to get on the system.
Wow.
But help desk would set it up. So one day I asked the manager, I was like, well, why don't we? Because I've worked at a lot of IT places before, but that place was, I wouldn't say they were a mom and pop shop, but they did things like a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
So they didn't do things like other companies I worked for did. So I said, why don't you guys give them like a welcome sheet or an email with their information, so they don't have to call us and ask us. Because because that was their standard. But we
Right.
don't do that. We just wait for them to call us.
Mm.
Who does that? That's like so. So we're gonna just wait for them to walk up to our desk and ask for information. Like, why don't you just give it to them so they can be prepared? And so that's what I started. I came in and I changed things. Of course, the manager at the time, he didn't like that because I was bringing in good ideas. This is how you're supposed to do things. I've been places, and all he knew was that place.
Okay.
So he didn't know how other places did things. So, and matter of fact, we didn't have a playbook,
Really?
knowledge base.
Really?
When I came in there and I was looking for documentation on how to resolve issues, there was nothing. There's like no portal or anything. So I asked him, I was like, "Where's all your documentation?" He's like, "We have none." I was like, "Well, how do you know how to fix things?" He's like, "I have my own documentation."
There you go.
I have me. Ask me.
There it is. One man shop.
Yeah. So I didn't like any of that.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't like
neither.
none of it, and I started to document everything, and then I asked them, could we get like a cloud-based application so I can start putting notes in the cloud for other people when we hire them. We don't have to train them.
Right.
They have the documentation.
They
They
can
go
read
right
for
there and see it.
themselves.
So
That's
I
how it's taught.
implemented that.
Yep.
And to this day, I'm pretty sure they still have it. I'm pretty sure it's pretty big now.
Wow.
They have more help desk people.
How many years ago was that?
That was that job was 2012.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to AJC 2012 to 2016, I think I was there.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time.
But yeah, that guy, he's still there. But the thing is, I'm 10 times better than I was when I was working there, and he's still the same position, making the same money.
Oh, no. That's messed
There
up.
was no growth because the only growth I had was
Oh, my
taking
God.
a job.
The same money in the same position for that long?
Yeah, he's in the same. So what happened? Funny story is what happened was the CIO, which was his boss, my manager's boss, he ended up quitting, and I didn't like working for my boss. So I said, "Well, I want to go with you. Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm gonna start my own company."
Oh, okay.
I was like, "Shoot, I'll go with you."
Okay.
So that's how ICS. That's the last company I worked for. That's how ICS got started. And he bumped me up to a manager.
Congratulations. Wow. Congratulations.
Right? So I was equal to my old manager. I'm
Wow.
hiring people and training them.
Wow.
But I'm doing it at different locations.
Congratulations.
And eventually I found I was stagnant in that manager position.
Oh.
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I was more chasing the title.
Yeah.
Manager.
Yeah.
So then I told him, I was like, I'm going to look for something else. No hard feelings. But I want to continue to grow. And I don't feel I've been here. I think I was there again like 4 years of my life. It's like 4 years, and nothing's changed really.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid more. I'm getting bonuses, but I'm not progressing. I'm not learning anything new. So then that's when I look for ATG.
Yeah.
I was looking for ATG.
Well, I'm glad you found it. That's why I felt at AT&T. I felt the same way at AT&T. 8 years, and I was in the same job. Like you said, not growing. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Dang.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, that's 8 years of your life, man. It's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, long story short, when the CIO left, my old boss tried to take my CIO's position.
Oh.
He's like, I'm going to move up.
Okay.
So when he moved up, he didn't realize everything the CIO was doing. And he couldn't handle that job. Because now he has to report to
The CEO.
The CEO.
Yeah.
Right? And the
And
CEO,
the
he
CEO
don't
don't play.
with. He's
No.
like, you better have
Yep.
this information in
You
our
better.
meeting. He
C-suite.
wasn't one of those guys. He was a very lazy manager. He was one that would come in at 11 o'clock.
Oh,
and leave
no.
at 2.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You
So-
can't do that. You got to be there early. Oh, come on.
He actually got demoted
Ooh.
back to his original position. But now, at his original position, he's being more exposed because they had to hire a new CIO, and the CIO started cutting positions. And looking at his position, he doesn't do anything.
Oh, God.
He literally doesn't do anything. He manages help desk, but what do you do beyond that?
Ooh.
Because you don't pick up the phones, you don't help people. We're not paying you to become we're not paying you to be a glorified help desk.
Right.
Right? You're a manager.
Right.
But you have like 2 people you're managing.
Right. Yeah, that's
or
it.
three maybe three now.
Wow,
Right?
that's nothing. Okay.
But still, they're self-proficient. They don't need you. The
Right.
CIO can manage help desk. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understand. Understand.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't wish bad on him, but we didn't have a good relationship. And
Yeah, I
Karma
know that
said, you know
feeling.
what?
I know that feeling. Yeah,
It's gonna come back
karma
around
is an
like
itch.
this.
It's a definite itch. It's an itch.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Yes, it's
uh,
an itch.
so uh, they didn't have. Where I was getting at, they didn't have the best onboarding practice. Is where I was getting at with that.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay.
Ticket management, after hour support.
Okay.
Some of the stuff that kind of skipped over here. Examples. Uh, After hour support means that help desk is 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
and ticket management means that when tickets come in, typically there's somebody that's going to
Triage.
look at the tickets and then put them in somebody's queue.
Triage. Yeah,
No,
triage. Mm-hmm.
yeah, triage is a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Triage who's going to be responsible for resolving that issue.
Mm-hmm.
So there are companies out there that do that. Some companies will have the ticket queue there, and then you just go in and you pick which ones you want. And your job might be you gotta solve 10 tickets per day. So you can just go in there and pick 10 easy tickets or something like that.
Yeah, that was my last job. It was that way. We get like 10 tickets, and as a senior, I would have to get on the harder tickets and let my younger guys get on the easier tickets.
Yeah,
But we
for
have to get
sure.
utilized too, and if we don't make our numbers, we get hit. So it's real competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, making those numbers, it sucks too,
Yeah.
because you have to have a percentage rate of when you close the tickets, they gotta be solved.
Yes.
Right? You don't want to close a ticket and it gets reopened.
Yep.
Solved.
Yep.
That.
Yep. Yep.
But it depends on the company you work for. Not all are going to be that stringent. On the next page, alright, so we talked about standards, we talked about the ones that we need to know, we talked about FIPS, cryptography, we talked about the 2700 ones that we need to know, and the 863 for passwords. Alright, and we're here. Actually, no, it's not here. Because I'm on page 416.
Okay.
Some things, password standards.
Mm-hmm.
So they're mentioning, hey, password should be hashed, it should be salted, password should be encrypted in transmission, password should be reset. We should store our passwords in a good, strong password manager. They talk about all the different types of ways we can implement access controls. We talk about rollback based on your job, rule based on technical controls, discretionary based on the user, mandatory access controls based on labels and security clearance. User identification, so that's the I in the IAAA. You typically identify who you are with the username, but you guys identify with your CAT card, something you have. Privilege management, this is what you have an admin or a root account.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, authentication protocols. We talked about SAML. That's used for federated identity management. It's
Right,
a common
SAML,
language that allows
SAML.
all disparate locations to authenticate to one central location. We talked about OAuth. That allows a third party,
There's
like
OAuth.
Google,
There's OAuth.
Facebook,
Remember
Hotmail,
OAuth.
to authorize me to use another app. And we talked about Kerberos. Kerberos issued tickets. Tickets are issued from who? The KDC. KDC is a third party that issues these ticket-granted tickets that have
three
a
things.
timestamp that expire. Session management. Just saying, hey, that we want to make sure that there's some, again, expiration to our cookies and our tokens. Audit trails, everything gets accounted for and audit and tracked in our environment, from logs that allow for audits and cameras that allow for audits. Again, audits, trails are used for detective mechanisms. Building security, they talk about physical control types. Remember, we talked about bollards.
Yeah.
Air gaps, those are two terms we don't know, but we know fence, lights, gates, man traps, access control, vestibule. All these are different physical security control types. Data centers, we talked about ways in which we can guard against people stealing things or gaining access to data centers. A biometric retina scanner would be the most accurate when it comes to gaining access to a building, because it scans the blood vessels in your eye. Blood vessels are simply intrusive because I can tell health conditions about an individual. Cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, all can be found in the user's eye and
Nice.
blood vessels.
Good point.
So with it being intrusive,
Point.
people don't want to use it as much. So something that's still highly accurate, but less intrusive would be an iris scanner. Eye scanner would be second place. The first place is retina. Right?
Okay. Retina, iris,
Of
retina,
course.
iris, retina, iris. Come on, come on. And retina.
Of course. Of course. I joke about that in class all the time too. So we gotta get rid of Johnny. He's got high blood pressure.
Oh, don't do that. Oh,
Diabetes is gonna kill our health insurance.
oh, hell no, God.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Next page, 417.
That's horrible.
We talked about, and I'm just reviewing it this time, guys, because we're pretty much towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And disposal, we have a whole sim on disposing, sanitizing things.
Yeah.
Making sure we destroyed it before we get rid of those assets.
Mm-hmm.
Are irrecoverable is what they're saying here. That's destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Encryption algorithms. We talked about AES being very good, strong, symmetric encryption for data at rest. We talked about asymmetric. ECC is an asymmetric protocol. ECC stands for elliptical curve cryptography. I said that's used for low power devices.
ECC.
A low power device, I don't have it on today, but my watch. My watch is low power. It doesn't have the power supply that the laptop has. So I can't put AES on my watch because AES is 256 bits. The bigger the bit key, the more processing
Remember
power
that with the
I
ETC,
need,
low
the
power
more
devices
I need to
for the
pull that
watch.
encryption.
This
So
right, low
AES
power.
256 would drain my battery in 20 seconds.
Yeah, to the
ECC
encryption. Wow.
is going to be a smaller key because it's designed specifically for low power devices.
Wow.
60 bits.
Wow.
Much smaller than 256.
Wow.
The cool thing about ECC is that even though the bit key is smaller, it still provides the same level of encryption, if not stronger. Right? So somehow they're able to miraculously with this algorithm
Wow, they can.
compress the size of the key,
But
still
it's.
keep the strength of the encryption.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Again, key length. The longer the key is stronger the encryption.
Yeah.
And key management. We talked about M-event concept. We talked about storing the key and the key escrow. We talked about
Right.
your private key.
So then.
Legal environment. We talked about the SOX. We talked about the SOX in here. Enron scandal.
No, we didn't do that. No.
We didn't talk about SOX, so let's talk about SOX. We talked about a couple laws. I thought we talked about
Yeah, you
SOX.
talked about some stocks. I think of one price was McDonald's, and no, what was it? It was
Oh,
another.
yeah. Yeah, we were on a tangent talking about that.
Yeah, we all know about Enron. I used to work in Houston, so I loved Enron.
I didn't know. I had a student, an older guy in my class. He filled me in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, right?
it was one of the biggest companies in the world, right? 2001.
I'm trying to find the stock chart right here. I mean, here's a stock chart, but yeah, it was like I think around 2000 and $20, and then it kind of took off to $90, like you said.
Yeah.
By 2001, it went down to zero. So it was a huge scandal in which they were, from what I understand from a student, and I didn't do my own research, but I believe him. He's an older guy, and nobody's corrected me yet. They were buying vacant buildings, claiming that these buildings were assets.
Yep.
And these assets would cause, and these assets would be seen as the company's growing
Yep.
in value
Yep.
until they got audited. Found
Yep.
out that's not really the case.
Yep.
So to protect
Yep.
against fraudulent activities, these two senators, Sarbanes
And Oxley. Yeah.
these two senators came up with the SOX Act so that they would not do that again. Oh, you live in Houston? Does that happen in Houston?
Yeah, I lived in Houston too. You lived in Houston? Yep, it happened in Houston. Yep.
Oh, that's why you were saying you lived in Houston. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't look it up. These guys in jail still or what?
Oh, the one on the right died. He died right before they went to jail, and the other one, he's still in jail.
Dang.
Yeah, that's Jeffrey Skilling's in jail.
Is this same as what? I don't know what happened with BlackRock.
No, it's not like BlackRock. No, it's a different situation. They got a movie called us. They got a movie on YouTube called "The Smartest Guys in the Room." It's a great 2 hour video, a movie by Jessica McLean. I did that for my MBA. We had to study that case, and it's powerful. My BBA, yeah.
What's it called?
The Smartest Guys in the Room. It came out like in 2003. Yeah, it's The Smartest Guys in the Room. It's a 2 hour. If you love business, it's a 2 hour show on how they rip people off with trading and betting on gas and doing. They did a whole bunch of things besides the hidden assets and lying on the assets. But it's a very good.
Sound very informational.
Yeah.
That's all the one percenters. They know all the ways to get around certain things.
Yeah, loopholes.
Take advantage of the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Swiss banks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta pay tax on your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that, but I don't want to risk going to jail.
Well, you're blessed. You're blessed. You got your father and mother, so you set up already. Yeah, you already set up. You got your mom and dad. Shoot, you've been set up.
I think legally there's a way to do it though. I think legally you would have to have some type of business or establishment in Switzerland to actually have some of your revenue legally be there.
Oh.
And not be taxed on it.
Fascinating.
You can work here and transfer your money there. I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to check with a CPA on that, but yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a legal way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the one percenters are doing it the legal way.
Mm.
Because they're beat the system.
Yeah.
Well, they still pay taxes, I think. No, you probably still get in trouble for doing that. Like money laundering or something else.
Yeah. Check with the CPA. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had paid my taxes first, but what if I'm a contract worker? I'm getting
1099s.
1099.
That's what I was.
Straight cash.
Mm-hmm.
I just take that money and just put it straight there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of junk that I wish they taught that in school. I wish they taught
me too.
Finance and literature.
Yeah. Thank God I had a business degree.
And
yeah.
trading.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of money to be made in trading and stocks and all that kind of stuff. Anyways.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, that's the stocks. That's on the bottom of 417.
Okay.
They talk about FISMA. In 2002, they had a law called the FISMA. This was says introduced to govern the security of data processing in federal governments. In essence, if you're a federal government, legally you have to have some type of security framework that you follow. If you don't, you're illegally operating. So if I come in as an auditor and I say, hey, what's your guys' standard? What's your framework? How do you guys doing security in your organization? And you're like, hey, I don't know. We're just winging it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's illegal. FISMA says that you have to have something. So we did talk about in this class STIGs. STIGs is a framework the military use to implement security. There's a GDPR. I know we talked about the GDPR.
Yes.
And we were talking about the GDPR. I said there's one that hides California citizens' data. So there it is right there, CCPA.
Yep, you told us. Yep.
So,
And you said because of that, every other customer and country has to follow it, right?
yeah, it's the GDPR. And then I talked about POPA. POPA's on the next page, Child Online Privacy Protection Act. I was verbally talking about these laws, so they're now in the book. But the COPA says that if you're a child under the age of 13, you have to get parent consent before a website can gather your information. So there's a company that violated that. Their name is YouTube. I usually put the game in class, but for time's sake, YouTube. YouTube illegally was collecting children's information and selling it to other companies about what they're browsing on YouTube, marketing. Now, if you're a kid and you sign up on YouTube account and you're under 13, it actually says you have to get parent consent before you can use our app. Yeah. Where they can make sure that the parents have signed off on it. FERPA on the next page is an education one. So they have all kind of things in here. here. I don't know why there's so many. There's a lot of them in here now.
A whole bunch of test questions.
FERPA, and I would say this, as far as knowing the details of these, I don't think that's important because they're not going into the details in the book. Right?
Okay.
But probably knowing the acronyms and knowing what they are, what category the law that they protect should be important. Right? Education, children. FERPA is education. COPA is children. FERPA basically says that if you have a student loan, a company cannot call your financial institution, Navient, Sallie Mae, and find out how much money you owe, or
Thank God
deny
for that.
you a loan or something based on, you got outstanding student loans. That information is supposed to be kept private.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Good.
And the GLBA is similar. Gremlins Blind Act. That says that I can't call your bank, financial institution, and ask how much money you got in your banking account.
Wow.
And we know the PCI DSS is credit card. We talked about that. We talked about HIPAA. We talked about GDPR. CALIA, Communication Systems for Law Enforcement Act. So there was a law that made it illegal to wiretap phones. But see, they don't even go into this. The reason I know this is this is CISP. CISP goes into all of this.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All this for CISP, and then you know the amendments that were made.
Oh. Oh God, and then
They
was
make
too.
it legal, and then later, you see it's on the book, they did make it legal. They went back and said, all right, we can wiretap as long as we get a warrant. Government officials, federal employees can wiretap. But when it first came out, they said it's completely illegal to wiretap. Then they said, hey, we might have to wiretap. Let's just do it for government.
Okay.
Police people.
They gotta love the law.
Get a warrant for
Okay.
that. Alright. And some of these I never heard of before. I have another one here at the bottom. CIPA, Children's Internet Protection Act. Sounds similar to COPA. The main thing with COPA that we're taught to remember is age 13 and younger. So we have another Children Internet Protection Act, CIPA. Two other government ones I haven't heard of before. Criminal Justice Information Service Security Policy and the Government Security Classification. I don't know where they talk about that one because that's not even the U.S. That's the United Kingdom. So I'm guessing I don't know what that one is. It's some type of government. This one is not there in it, but PIPTA. It is on the bottom of 418. PIPTA is a Canadian one. Canadian citizens' privacy of their information. PIPEDA.
Oh, got it.
Bottom of page 418.
Thank you.
But they don't even talk about that. Yeah, it does say actually it does say in the book, Canada enforces PIPTA.
Cool.
So yeah, there's so many laws here, gang, that I would say I don't know where to stop on which ones to know, which ones not to know.
That's okay.
The ones we talk about.
That's all right. I gotta know all of them.
Right, on pages 417, 418.
Gotta memorize them all. Put it
The
both
ones that are
certs.
kind of just listed there without any explanation on 419, I'd probably say it's okay not to go deeper into knowing what those laws are for. It's not a law exam.
Yeah. It's not a law exam. True. Okay, let's see page 4.
So turn to page 420. We have some in bold there. Right. Here's a few key examples that have been previously mentioned as far as laws and regulations. But here they're just getting to the point. Governance is, yes, we have laws out there that dictate how we can do certain things. How can we collect data? What data can we not collect? How do we secure things? How do we make sure people don't do things they shouldn't be doing? Monitoring and revision.
Alec and I went over the status, and that's
This whole section is dedicated to all of these laws, PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So let's look up the ones that we didn't talk about. Children Internet Protection Act.
So what I would say is,
Children
obviously, you've
Internet
already
Protection Act.
thought
Will
ahead,
be.
which is great.
Children Internet Act is
I'm
one
gonna ask you
of a
to
number
take a
of
deep
bills
breath.
the United States Congress proposed to limit children's
Take a
exposure
breath.
to
Yes,
porn.
the attention that you're giving to
Okay.
Interesting.
the
Okay.
workbook and
How does
the
it do
prompt
that, though?
sessions is going to pay off. It's going to pay off. What I'm
I
hoping
read
is
how does
that
it do it?
what the
How can it
payoff
limit?
will be
Oh, schools?
that it will be easier
guess.
Schools are not allowed
to
to
get to the next step.
show certain things.
Control how quickly the client
Yeah, schools and libraries are subject to
responds,
SIPA,
although I'm
required to adopt
SIPA.
safety
What is
policies.
SIPA?
So schools are going to be locking down websites. Because what to say, you can't really dictate what they can do at home.
Is it HIPAA? Oh, CIP Act.
Dude,
SIPA. CIP.
libraries, you know what? I was researching that. It's like, how do libraries make money nowadays? Libraries have pivoted their business to now being almost like Blockbuster in Hollywood. They rent things, typically laptops. Some people in impoverished areas that can't afford it, you go to the library, you can rent that, bring it back.
get done, but I think you're
I
probably.
have a
Really?
couple I talked about. Which one? The one that we need to look up. This one.
But in the
Criminal Justice Information Security Policy.
at this level is great.
Then we gotta look up this UK one, which I'm not even sure whether they have a UK law
This is
on a US
It's
based
419.
exam.
it's 419, page 49.
My goodness. Integration of presidential and FBI directives, federal laws, and the criminal justice community board decision, along with guidance from the NIST. Policy is periodically updated to reflect evolving security requirements. I'm not about to read 33 pages.
Oh, no. That's a, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we just read.
Yeah, that's okay.
Provides- He said, yeah, he said that's okay.
Yeah. yeah. Control investment.
The policy is present in both provided security criteria assist agencies in designing and implementing systems to meet a uniform level of risk security protection, while enabling agencies the latitude to institute more stringent security requirements and controls based on their business models and needs. So it's a policy that FBI and other federal organizations use to make sure that they have strict security protection, mitigating risk in the organization.
Let me do that. Have you started creating that list?
Cloud Security Alliance, CSA, tune your security program, risk needed to budgets, resources, strengths. Okay.
Right.
And we have this last one that I want to look up here. FBI security. Awesomeness. Yeah, it should be capital. Oh, government security classification scheme. That's what that came from. Where we classify data. Interesting. I should have seen that in the text. Government security classification. That's where that stuff came from. Top
Gotcha.
secret. Secret. Etc. Governance boards on the next page. So obviously it's going to be a group of people that are the ones who come up with all these laws. Governance boards are crucial for ensuring organizations' effectiveness of security governance and oversight because they're responsible for setting objectives, policies, and guidelines for security practices. And governance boards oversee implementation of security controls. Governance boards drive organization-wide security practices. Governance boards unite executive management, security professionals, and stakeholders to ensure security is at the top.
Copy.
So I never governance board for an organization. Probably I wasn't high up enough to be part of one. But yeah, we have these people that are important that will be part of this board to make sure our company is risk-free. Centralized versus decentralized. This term here, centralized means that we have one place to go to make changes. Decentralized means we got many places to go to make changes. Centralized, decentralized security governance models aim to achieve security goals, protecting assets, and mitigating risk. Additionally, they recognize the importance of security and need to collaborate between stakeholders and departments. However, notable differences between the two approaches. Centralized security governance, decision-making authority primarily rests with a single core group. In contrast, decentralized security governance distributes decision-making authority to different groups or departments to facilitate security-focused decisions based on localized needs and priorities. Choice between centralized and decentralized depends on the size, structure, culture, and there's that word, risk appetite. So I talked about the word risk appetite in this book there. Risk appetite means that some people are willing to accept more risk than others. Committee boards. So this is still talking about governance boards. Here to talk about governance committees. Governance boards depend on governance committees to assist in decision making. Governance board typically is composed of execs. I was never an exec. With ultimate decision making, this responsibility often requires execs to make critical decisions. Committees are groups comprised of subject matter experts, SMEs, stakeholders, that would be anybody who has interest in an organization, and representatives from departments, that would be supervisors and managers. That was not even part of the committee or the board. So here we're going to say boards are typically senior level, and committees are going to be managers, stakeholders, peons. All right. Roles. Data governance roles in the next page. So a owner is a high-ranking employee, and they're going to be ultimately responsible for my data. Controllers, I don't know if they have a better definition now. The previous definition was we have data process controllers. The controllers are the ones who control the data. Processors are the ones who process the data on behalf of the controller. That was the old definition. See if they improved that. The controller role closely relates to GDPR, that's the privacy of EU citizens. Identifies the purpose, conditions, and means of processing personal data. Individual, public authority, agency, or other body can fill the controller role. The controller ensures that data processing activities adhere to all legal requirements. So, legitimately, the controller is the one who controls the data. I don't see any different definition here.
Yeah. That's logical.
Legal adherence. And the processor should be the one who processes the data on behalf of the controller. The processor is responsible for processing the personal data, same thing, on behalf of the controller, and change the definition.
Gotcha. Okay. It's one of these two. Okay, so controller just controls.
Custodian should be day-to-day task.
Okay.
Maintenance.
Okay.
Maintenance. Data.
Maintains.
So, i.e., backup,
Gotcha.
backing up data, backup, testing, offsite, things of that nature.
Gotcha. Okay. Custodian. Day-to-day tasks.
Sometimes that's called a steward.
Day-to-day tasks.
Data custodian, data steward.
Tasks. Backups.
Alright, 14B.
Backups. Okay. And 14B. Alright, 14B. 14. Bravo. 14 Bravo. Change management. Oh yeah, okay. My area. Topic change
I
management.
looked this one up. I looked this one up. I don't know what NERC is. I've heard of NARC. Never heard of NERC. North American Electric Reliability Corporation. Is that right?
I've heard of.
The North American Electric Reliability Corporation is a non-profit corporation based in Atlanta. I never heard of this. Formed on March 28 as a successor for. All right, doesn't tell me what it does though.
But thanks for pointing that out. That's very important to us.
The original NERC was formed in 1968 by electric utility industry to promote reliability and adequacy of bulk power transmission in the electric utility systems of North America. NERC's mission states that it is to assure the effectiveness and efficient reduction of risk to reliability and security of the grid. So this is a group of people that are making sure we get power, reliable power. NERC oversees 6 regional reliability entities in the whole of North America and Canada. Canada, United States, as well as Mexico and California. Major responsibility includes working with all holders to develop standards for power systems, enforcing compliance standards. Yeah, so I guess any power company. Can you imagine if we could figure out how to get free power, how many people would be out of business?
Oh man, I
There's
don't know.
ways to get free power.
Just like free cable. Yeah.
Free cable, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could do without cable personally. But free power, that's going to get a lot of people out of business. Healthcare.
Yeah.
I would say drugs. Drugs is a huge business that people
Oh yeah,
will
big
take.
corner.
I've been reading a lot of books and documentaries, and cancer is like one of the biggest criminal things out there, in my opinion, where they put people on medication to keep, like, the radiation and all that kind of stuff. Makes it worse.
Yeah, it's a game.
Oh, you know Dr. Sebi? Okay. Yeah, Dr. Sebi cured a lot of stuff, naturally.
Oh, thank God for Dr. Sebi. Yeah. You also got to look at, there's another doctor named Dr. Krasinski, and he found the cure for cancer, but cancer people shut him down because they don't make enough money on cancer. So he has a big old documentary on YouTube called Krasinski, Kurzinski. He's a Russian guy. But
Oh, really?
yeah, 20 years ago he came out with a cure.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's poor, I think 80. Let me see how old is he.
Oh, he's still alive. Oh, yeah. Something happened with Dr. Sebi. Uh-huh.
It has it on GDP.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that's going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And amongst other diseases that are out there that are curable too. Yeah. Kind of crazy, man. I can't remember the book. I have this book that I'm reading right now that talks about cancer, but I'm trying to recall it. Let me look it up. I have it, and it's annoying me now. I can't think of what it is. Yeah, I have a truth folder of all this stuff. World Without Cancer. That's literally what it's called. World Without Cancer. You heard of that book? No. Yeah. You can find it for free. I downloaded it for free. One of those books that they probably think they took off the shelves and stuff. But I think they do sell it on Amazon. It's still on there? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I got the PDF. Oh, you do? I feel you. Yeah. All right, 14B, change management. So there's a section of the book with change management. I kind of went on a tangent and talked about all the things that happen in change management, but here it is in the book. All right, so change management, systematic approach that manages all changes, ensures methods and procedures are used to handle changes, helps minimize, like I said, the purpose of change management is that, to minimize risk. That's the whole purpose of change management. So there's that CAB, Change Advisory Board, that I kind of talked about already. They're the ones that are going to make sure that the change you're making, approve or deny the change. Stakeholder input, so it's any who has interest, information. So stakeholder going to say, hey, you're about to make a change, but that could affect the ability for me to use my phone. Kind of like I did at AT&T this morning. And if there's no input there, should have done maintenance later. Somebody approved it, and what was the impact? It was pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll probably never find out what really happened. But the funny thing is, it wasn't down for every AT&T user in Atlanta, because she said that she had connectivity. When I went to look right before break, her AT&T was working. But then as I was walking outside, my AT&T was working too. So I don't know, because they're not technical. I think they're on Wi-Fi. And they didn't realize it. You know, so it's like you're lying.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that their phone disconnects to Wi-Fi and they can text and call. So
Yeah.
and then when they drive, they don't never look at their phone because they're old. So
Yeah.
I don't believe AT&T was down for everyone in Atlanta. Period. You're not the one special one.
Nah. Based on my research, it was like 4 major cities: Houston, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, some others, New York, I think. So it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So impact analysis is basically what we're just talking about. Is the change going to impact a lot of people, a little bit of people? We test before we do the change. We test a small group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what's called Q&A, right? How can I word this? I would say small group, right? Impact analysis. Is it large, small? Roll out plan, backup plan. I guess they call it back out plan.
Yeah.
But regardless, these two things are actually the same.
Yeah, we call ours a backup plan. Yeah.
Yeah. So this change review board should be called a CAB. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, we call ours a CAB as well. Yeah, most of the companies call it
CAB.
change that activity board or change review board.
Yeah, change advisory board.
Uh-huh.
Why did they put that in the PowerPoint? And it's literally in the book is change advisory board.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this.
I've heard it both.
PowerPoint is not
No.
what it should be. Advise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. FYI, I put the link in the chat of that cancer doctor sent you into that from
you
Houston.
Did? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll look it up later. Yeah. Awesome. Maintenance windows is a predefined recurring time for implementing changes. So this is like after hours typically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or weekends.
Yeah.
You get maintenance window.
Yeah, we normally have our maintenance windows like 1 a.m. to 6. Normally when everyone's closed, depending on the time zone. So if it's Pacific, we adjust to that local, or if it's Luxembourg or Germany or whatever time zone over in Asia, we adjust to that too.
That's awesome. It's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Or if something's messed up, you have time before they wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You fix it. Allowed and blocked changes. So loud list is like a white list, and a deny list is like a black list.
Mm-hmm.
Changes were allowed allowed to make, changes we're not allowed to make, obviously, is what they're talking about here.
Yeah.
What's this picture showing? Let's zoom in real quick. So this is a rule saying, use rules to override default security level. Click browse, select the files you want to hash. The file attributes such as its size and date and time was created are automatically populated.
It's awesome.
Security level disallowed. VirtualBox, Virtual Manager, Oracle VirtualBox.
Wow.
Here it says description block VirtualBox Manager from being executed. So it looks like these
Wow.
people can't use this application
Wow.
on their particular system with the same block.
Mm.
Alright. Restart dependencies and downtime. The service and application restarts as well as downtime are critical considerations because they have impact on business. Of course, we know when you perform a change or update, what's the next thing that typically happens? You gotta reboot.
Oh yeah.
And that's downtime. One
Mhm.
primary goal of change management is to minimize disruption and schedule restarts and downtime events during maintenance windows. It's like Henry was stating. And he has specific times that you can do it, so he knows if a change needs to be made and we have to restart, we're good.
Mhm.
Servers and applications often depend on other software, and this is that where dependencies complicate changes, right? Hey, I want to make a change in this server, but if I change something on this server, then I got to go to this server and make the change too.
Mhm.
If I don't make a change on this server, then it's not gonna. This whole application is not going to work.
Right.
So now you have dependencies, and you wanted to change one thing, you end up having to change every user's computer,
Yes, sir.
right? Or maybe you update something on the primary server, and now you got to go to all the end users' machines and make the same change, or they're not going to be able to communicate to the server.
Mhm.
So that sucks. I'm trying to think of a real example of that ever happening that I can think of.
Mhm.
Now, most of the time, I can't think of one in my head. Reason why is because most of the time, you take that in consideration before you make the change.
Yeah.
Hey, if I do this, let me see if it's still going to work. I'm not going to make a change before I test something first. I mean, the smart thing is not to make a change, but you test it on your machine first.
Oh yes. Yeah, we have, like you said, we have a staging and we practice it in our lab. We lab it up to see how it will play out with our lab, and then before we even bring it to production. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of like a change we're doing now. And I told him to test it. We have an upgrade to server 2022 here for Pearson testing. And all the students in there connect to the server that's here for Pearson View. They're using 2019 right now.
Oh,
So I said,
okay.
hey, before you do it on the primary server where everyone's coming in to test, take a different machine and put it on that machine first
Yes.
and test it. See if it works on this machine.
Yes, sir.
If it does work, maintenance window wise, just go ahead and make the swap. Nobody's testing in there. Go ahead and swap over to the 2022 server.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, that's just best practice. But the funny thing is, he didn't know that.
Oh my.
He didn't know best practice. You know what he tried to do? He tried to update the server
No.
not while they were testing,
No.
but he tried to update the existing server. So what if the update didn't go right? What
Right,
if they messed up
right.
the only server we have for people to test?
Yeah.
Now
Hey,
he's
Sean.
panicking.
I got it on mute so you can let him know he can work on that.
Again.
They can't hear him, so I don't know if he
Man,
moves
We
that.
waiting on getting the tools.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
have the equipment to fix it
Gotcha,
yet.
gotcha.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
It's like that's not said nicely. That's not the best practice. You should, if you're going to do it, don't upgrade our existing.
Exactly.
Find a different
No,
machine.
no, never do that. That's like, wow. Get fired after that, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a contractor.
Oh.
He'd be all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what they're kind of talking about there. With the dependencies, right? Everything's dependent on something else.
Yeah.
And then it has some examples here, right? Some typical IT changes that generally require restarts, tells, patches,
Right.
big changes, infrastructure changes, security changes.
Right.
They all sometimes require restarts. I talk about that in class all the time. We talk about accidental or shadow IT. Shadow IT can be
Yeah.
accidental
Shadow
insider
IT.
threat. I say you might update something you don't know on accident. It's added automatically reboot.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. It's not going to say, would you like to reboot? It's going to say, system's rebooting in 3 minutes.
Exactly.
It'll never count.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
That happens. Legacy system applications. Again, we know legacy means it's not supported any longer. Purpose, unique challenge, legacy pose unique challenges to change management. These systems are often critical and are difficult to manage. Many legacy applications are built using outdated technology, which introduces compatibility issues
Yeah.
when implementing change.
Yep.
For
It's true.
example, new software or security updates may be incompatible with older architecture.
Yep.
It's like Windows 11. Windows 11 cannot be installed on older architecture. Some compatibility issues might require specialized solutions such as virtualization. That's what I
Yeah.
mentioned. I said it's okay to virtualize an XP machine and then put it onto a host machine that's newer that I can actually update the host machine on the hypervisor. I can actually update because I can secure the host machine and the hypervisor even though Windows XP isn't secure.
Good.
So yeah, they talk about the exact same thing that I mentioned earlier. That the best way to secure a legacy machine is to virtualize it.
Yeah.
And that's a question on your homework.
Oh, good. Good. Thank you.
Version control. So when we create versions, again, this is in my notes. Version 1.0, for example. Version control, right? States changes made in software using version numbers. From 1.0 to 2.0, the first number change is considered what's called a major update. 2.0 to 2.1 is a minor update. And from 2.1 to 2.1.1, that's a hot fix. That means we can't wait for the next major update. We got to fix it immediately. iOS, your iPhone, uses versioning. We can look at it right now. I don't know what version they're on. I think they're on 17 something.
Yeah, I just got an update for beta this morning. So let me see. I'm doing the beta. I always like to get the beta one. 17 point, developer beta 17.4 just came out.
17.4?
Yeah, 17.4 is what I got on my phone.
I'm on 17.2.1 right now.
Yeah, it's a beta. I'm on a beta program where I just test it out before it goes production.
Is that the next one to come out though?
Yeah, it says under my beta updates. Yeah, it says it's a developer beta. Received the beta updates on the phone, the test drive, the pre-release versions. Yeah, you might want to turn on your beta because all phones have that option. Where you can.
I'm behind one. I'm on 17. I'm on 17.2.
Okay.
You're on 17.3 now. So I'm behind one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're talking about .4 because I'm on still .2.
Oh wow.
You beta 2 versions ahead of mine.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because I didn't update.
Uh-huh.
I'm on 17.2. I know 17.3.1 is where we should be at. He's on beta.
Yeah, I'm in the beta.
He gets things before they come out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he's going to be one version ahead of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I need to update to 17.3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I might as well go ahead and kick it off now. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I'm doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
AT&T's probably going to go down again. All right. So yeah, that's the purpose of version control, so that we can see what changes were made, because we're talking about change management, and based on that, we can revert back to fix issues that changes might have caused. Because a lot of times when you make a change, things break. So version control allows us to know what developer made those changes and what changes were made in that particular version, so we can fix issues. All right. C is 2 pages, so I'm going to take a break after these 2 pages.
Okay.
So this is talking about automation, orchestration. what's the purpose of automation and scripting? Uh, to take the words out of my mouth right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Humans are the weakest link, so the mitigating against humans making mistakes, automate it. I have a computer do it the same way every single time. You will never mess up. Right? But you tell me to do something, I guarantee you I'm gonna mess up. I'm not gonna do it the same way every single time.
Mm.
So if we're provisioning, right, to talk about use cases, when's a good use case for using scripting? Provisioning means I'm creating a desktop, an image. I don't want to create 200 machines one by one, so I automate it. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty quick chapter. On the next page, other reasons why I use automation. Guardrails. What is this? Guardrails is not in my PowerPoint. Now, guardrails and security groups provide frameworks for managing security within an organization. Automated guardrails can monitor and enforce compliance with security policies, ensuring that risky activities and behavior are prevented or flagged for review. Security groups define which resources a user or system can access. Security groups can also be managed more efficiently through automation, reducing the possibility of unauthorized access or excessive permissions. I'm trying to think of a real life example here. I've never used guardrails. Give me a second. I'm thinking as risky activities. I can think of something that could be considered a guardrail. I don't know if I showed you guys this. I know I didn't show you guys this yet. I'm going to go log into my cloud environment here. And we're talking about this automated way to secure things and prevent things from happening, specifically risky activities, right? So I'm going to go to my security tab here. And over here we have something called risky. Look at all this risk. I'm looking at these risky users. This is an automated way. I don't have to think about it. Yes, my name's on there, right? I had a student who's like, "You're on there." I'm like, "Yeah, so I can be on there all I want. I'm the admin." So what I'm worried about is this, but I'm not really worried because I know who she is, and she just never logs in. So that's why I detected her at risk, because they're like, "You've never logged in since we moved to the cloud, so why'd you log in now?" But they log in at 8:22, which isn't risky to me because that's work hours, right? And a lot of these people are on here once because when we migrated to the cloud, everyone was a risky user because nobody's ever logged in before, right? But this would show the date and time, and if somebody had logged in on the weekend and it was doing it multiple times, that could flag me for suspicion that, hey, was that really that person or was it somebody else compromised their account? But this is automated, and it will send me a report. Right? And there's lots of things here, so this would probably be something as an example of guardrails in real life. However, it's not here. Ticketing. All right, we know what ticketing is, right? And ticketing is automatic, right? You put a ticket in, right, and your organization, you get an automatic reply instantly, right? Your ticket has been received, kind of thing. And we can even do further than that. We can have that triage that we were talking about with who does that ticket go to. That can be automated too.
Yep.
There's a lot of automation, tons of automation to ticketing.
Yes.
I can't even go that deep. There's a lot of things you can do. Service management. So automation and scripting are also essential for service management and accessing within the IT environment. Security analysts can automate routine tasks such as what? Enabling and disabling services. Yeah, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Well, here in services, these are all services, right?
Yeah.
And some of these are set to manual, but some of them I can set up to automatic. That means that anytime I start my computer, some of them even start delayed. So that means after 30 seconds, then start the service. All right. Some of them are going to start up automatic, print spooler. Look at this service. This service spools print jobs, handles interactions with the printer. If you turn off this service, you will not be able to print or even see your printers. So this one's essential, and this is the second most common ticket that I have day in and day out, other than my account's locked out. I can't print. And it would be because sometimes the service didn't automatically start up, and I come in here and it would be stopped. And even though it's still set to automatic, it would be stopped. And if it's stopped, all your printers disappear.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, Mr. That's right. Seen that.
Where my printers at? Oh shoot, I can't even get into it. Yeah, I can't even get into print to show you my printers when that service is stopped. What if I can add a printer? Yeah, so I was typing it, I'm like, where are my printers? So I can't do anything.
Right.
I can't even add a printer. That service is stopped. Everything's like, it's just weird. I'm gonna go ahead and start. But what would happen is a lot of times that would stop, and people couldn't be able to print. And before I knew how to fix the issue, everything's messed up. I gotta wait till it either refreshes or I might even have to reboot. Oh no, looks like it might be popping up now. And before I knew about this game, what I was trying to say is, there's my printers now. You can see my printers are there. Still is trying to add some, because I do have some network printers here that haven't been added. These are just default printers. But you see what happens, right? Things stop working for that particular service, but we can automate those. Service management. Continuous integration testing. Principle of continuous integration testing hinge heavily on automation. In this approach, developers regularly merge changes back in the main code, and each merge is tested automatically to help detect and even fix integration problems. This capability improves code quality, accelerates development cycles, and reduces the risk of integration issues. Continuous integration, CI, sometimes I call it, meaning that we're going to continually improve how an application performs, streamline it. Maybe, let's say that I create an application that allows me to add users to printer, right? And at first, when I created it, I could add 3 users at a time. Continuous integration, right? Meaning I'm going to improve this over time. Now I can do 5 to 10, 20 users. But somehow they are able to automate the ability to go in there and continually improve that automation process. I'm not a software developer, so I'm not sure how to automate the improvement of that. I figured they have to do that manually, because that's what we typically talk about with continuous integration, is mainly going back and doing maintenance, improving things. But they're saying that can be automated. APIs, we talked about APIs, we know there's many programs. Do I have Portal open? I do still. So I don't know if I showed you guys this, but here's virtual machines in the cloud, right? And I can click on a virtual machine in the cloud. And up here, these buttons are APIs. So if I click on this button to restart, it'll actually reboot this particular virtual machine, right? But it's a button. It's a web-based button that has a program or logic behind it to perform specific operations to say, hey, go to the server in the cloud and start to reboot. Any program. So some of these APIs enable different software systems to communicate and interact, right? Communicate to that server, reboot it. Automation can orchestrate these interactions. So I can automate these APIs and say, hey, in the cloud, I want you to hit that button every night at 9 p.m. I can automate that, script it. On the next page, automation, orchestration, implementation benefits. Automate and orchestrate offers many important benefits. Primarily to enhance efficiency by enabling repetitive tasks, I call them mundane tasks, to be performed, and it reduces me from having to do these silly tasks. It gives me the opportunity to do some of the cooler stuff, more intensive tasks. Operator fatigue refers to mental exhaustion. If I had told you every day that I need to reboot the computers and you had 200 to do every single day, that would be annoying, right, versus automating it. Automation orchestration play crucial roles in combating operator fatigue. We're going to talk about fatigue again here. Automation orchestration reduces security team workload. Yeah. Makes my job easier. Orchestration enhances the impact of automation by coordinating automatic tasks across different systems. Software tools and reduces detection and reaction times. Yes, because if I can automate when I get an alert, do this. What if I'm not there at the desk? I went to lunch. Or what if I was watching Netflix and I didn't see it when it happened? Well, it doesn't matter if I create a script that says, hey, anytime you see this, do this. It'll happen instantly. So yeah, it'll definitely reduce detection and reaction times. And then give examples here. All right. Importance consideration. While automating and orchestrating provides numerous benefits, it also presents some challenges. Complexity. Implementing automation requires a deep understanding of systems, processes, and other interdependencies. So there's that word again, dependencies, right? If I reboot this server and I don't know about the systems, this server could affect another server and I didn't know that. So I can't create a script to do something unless I totally understand the environment, right?
Yeah.
Cost. I don't really see how that scripting is going to be expensive, but maybe to initially set it up, sure. The initial cost of implementing automation orchestration can be high, including costs associated with acquiring and developing appropriate tools. Yeah, because most of these tools are not built in. Integrating them into existing systems and training staff to use them. So yeah, I can see how that can be costly.
Mm-hmm.
SPOF, single point of failure. If a critical, if my script fails and that's it, there's nobody there, especially if I've automated it to continue operating or doing that particular task, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technical debt. Organizations can accrue technical debt if automation and orchestration tools are implemented hastily, resulting in poor documented code, brittle system integration, or poor maintenance. Over time, this debt can lead to system instability, complexity, increased costs. Ironically similar to the problems associated mainly with legacy systems. Ongoing support. Automation orchestration systems require ongoing support to stay effective and secure, including updates and patches, reviewing the processes, continuous education. Without adequate support, the benefits of automation are quickly eroded. I want to add one here. Right? And these are just examples, gang. Right? We know that there's benefits, and the main benefit to automating is reducing human error, and I don't have to work as hard. But here's a really, really good example of a bad thing with automation. I had a class last week in Alaska. They were telling me that their SCADA environment was automated. Right, so we know SCADA is going to be they work in the ICS, so it's a military installment, and they have warehouses, and everything in that warehouse is automated because they don't touch it really, because machines do everything day in day out. Well, they said when things break, they don't know how to fix it manually because it's been automated for so long. They don't know how to manually do the process. That's crazy. It's crazy. You're telling me that things have been automated that nobody even knows how to do it. If it breaks, you don't have to manually go in there and do the task. Like, nope, we have no clue.
Wow.
Yeah, the script, for the automated way to do it, they don't know how to manually do it. that I think would be the biggest downfall. Is think about it, right? Think about your kid being born right now, and somebody creates an automated way to turn the TV off. Automated means he just walks in front of it and it turns on, and that's all he knows.
Hmm.
And then one day he looks at the TV and doesn't turn on.
Hmm.
You think he's gonna know?
No. Yeah. Huh.
He ain't gonna know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my son takes for advantage right now. Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
It just most of the time he knows it works. Now my son's not the normal kid because he's technical. I teach him how to do things, right?
Yeah.
So he knows how to go up to the access point and reboot it, right?
Yeah.
He knows how to manually install drivers.
Oh,
The
nice.
steering wheel doesn't work for his gaming rig. He knows how to go in and download the driver.
Awesome.
But a lot of people know that. Yeah, it's a really good example. Automated, right, Henry? When people plug things into the computer, it just works.
Mm-hmm.
Now we knew back in the day growing up, that was not the case, right?
Oh, no.
You
No.
plug it in, you gotta go find
Plug
the
and play
driver.
was not back then. No. Mm.
Plug and play did not exist back then.
No.
So I think that's actually even a better example than my TV example.
Okay.
The TV example I got from a movie I was watching,
Okay.
a sci-fi movie, with the little girl, every time she went to the TV, it just turned on. It was the future. But yeah, I like to plug and play. Plug and play is actually really good.
You see how close it was?
No man, golly. You know, the one thing that stuck out in Japan was the NFC technology.
Yeah, near field communication. Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
you could get a card for that district, and you could use that card to buy anything in that district. It's a credit card designed specifically for that district that you're in.
wow, that's good. That's great
I
technology.
went to like 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your slide. Yeah, I know that for the transit system.
Just put your groceries in, you go down, and come back up, and you slide the phone, you just walk by and grab it back, keep pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the future right there, Rick.
Automated?
You know, you have stuff.
That's the future.
Groceries right there. So you walk in, you just slide the phone, you get back on the groceries, you up in the bag, you grab it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a new store. It's called the Amazon stores.
I did.
Check the Amazon stores.
Yeah. I haven't been to any of those yet. I don't know how those work. I know they got something like that in Sam's,
Mm-hmm.
where you can buy stuff and you walk over this little beam,
Mm-hmm.
and it just debits it from your card.
Yeah.
I still don't really get how that works. I think it's scanning. Yeah, it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But people can steal stuff still.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, there's probably no bollards.
And then you pay right there, and then you walk to the West Coast, and then the person.
Oh, the receipt. And they got
It's
scanned.
not in your face.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Ah.
That's a good point.
I might start using that. I'm a Sam's shopper. If you don't get it.
Yeah. So you're not a Costco shopper?
You just scan it, we put something there, and you have the total on your phone to pay for it, or you scan it in line to pay for it, and I think it's
So how do you sign up for it?
it's on your
Oh, I gotta get the Sam's app.
yeah, the Sam, it's on the West Coast, and it's
So I cheat. I use my mom's Sam's card,
Ha 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 ha.
and then my brother created an account.
That's
My
awesome.
brother created an account, and we don't know what the user and password is for the account. We're locked out right now. I sent a reset, and he said he didn't get an email
Uh-oh.
since he didn't see one. My brother's 1,000% the opposite of me. Totally not technical.
Oh.
He's buff. I mean, he can lift the building, but he took the other route.
Hmm.
All right, that's 15.
Okay.
So, what time is it? I
Well,
think we had
3:35.
15 today because we got one lesson left.
Okay.
If we do it, then we have nothing to do tomorrow. So we're going to talk about 16 tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Sims,
Okay.
and then we're calling it a day.
Yes, sir.
So we have 15 and 16, which is fun. I'll have to call it to you tomorrow.
15 15 and 16.
Obviously I can finish
15
both
and
today,
16.
but at least I know I can finish this in 4 days. Easy.
Yeah.
So I'm very slow with you guys.
Yeah.
And usually I teach military, they don't talk as much as you guys do.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that because being going to all the different bases. You said you was up in Alaska last week. How many was in your class?
That was a CISP class. CISP is always the smallest class. I will say that is one of the bigger CISP classes I had. It was 8 people.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
they were very old because usually CISP you have like these senior managers in the class.
Yeah.
So they were like, when I say old, they're like on the verge of getting ready to retire.
Oh no.
So they were definitely old.
That's a lot of information. God dog.
Yeah, they realized that probably, I would say the second day they realized that. First day they didn't. I don't scare people with the first day. But by the second day, they're like, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they realize it's not like the other classes I teach them where they test on Friday.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You gotta wait.
Wow. Yeah, I'm watching tons of videos on YouTube, so thank God for YouTube. Okay, so we got communications. Okay.
Put you on mute.
Okay. Roger.
Unless you want to hear me talk.
What's up?
Put you on mute, okay?
Okay. Okay, reaction times. So we got application API interface with the. Okay. Okay, critical tools, mount operations. Okay, so start reading on page 437. Let's go over the SIM. Sims and practice exam. All right. See the threat map. What's going on right now? Hey, less threats other than the AT&T attack this morning. Oh, Germany again. What's going on in Germany? Interesting. Okay, they're attacking Japan. Okay, starting to look. What time is it now? 3:38. Okay, so it's now +5. It's 8 p.m. UTC. Okay. And Australia. What's going on in Australia? It's usual. All right. Well. Okay, so far we got 2 hours on this particular class, section, subclass. We went over chapters 12, 13, and 14. Change management, that's the biggest part of this. I think I already got change management practice for my job, so now I've got to look at the questions on change management, see what type of question that can trick. The biggest thing, like you said, for the CISSP certification, that one, it's gonna take time. You just can't get that in 5 days. you gotta be studying a year before you even go into the class. So I went to policies. Lesson 14 was security governance concepts. Okay, then we went from security governance concepts to then before that we're talking about attacks. We're talking about the different type of cyber attacks. Brute force attacks, dictionary attacks, password spraying, pass the hash attack, pass the ticket attack. Okay, we got a evil twin attack on the shared drive, on a hard drive, a DOS attack versus the DDoS attack. We got the network attacks. Okay. Go practice those attacks, watch those on YouTube, watch those, learn those skills. Look at how those guys create those hacking malware. Watch the malware classes. similar to DDoS attack. Down service attack, command C, you got denial service attack, RFID cloning. That's this. My RFID wallet. We got sandbox execution, resource consumption. Environmental statistics. Oh, I would have practiced that. What time is it? Time is now 3:42. Okay, it's good stuff today. Today has been a good day today. We'll be up to 5. What time we started? Oh God, we started. Microphone for the video. This is our fourth video. Started at 5 a.m. Almost 12 hours, baby. Almost 12 hours. 12-hour day, and it's not even 5 o'clock. We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. Yeah. Because freedom isn't free. My hometown. It's not like this, but that's alright with me. See, I'm out here, my hometown. Freedom isn't free. I've heard that all day. Where's that? Alright. There we go. Everything is good as they come. Picture in my mind. Pretty rise of midday sun. Okay, I can't play it. Okay, I forgot. Do I have enough RAM? I gotta give me some more RAM. I can't play Teams and do it at the same time. Teams take up so much RAM. I know you do, and Google. I take up on how much RAM I got. I got 31 gigs. I had targets. I should have enough RAM. Right now I'm running at 18 gigs and I got 31 gigs. So my question, if I'm running 18 gigs, I should have plenty. That's like almost half I'm at 50% right now. Let's see. We got right now 12 gigs of RAM available. Looks like 12.3 gigs. But I'm doing video. So today we're going to work on definitely Windows Defender, talk about the ports, talk about the next generation firewall. This is the doing part we got to work on. The definition part is the easy part, but the doing part is the hard part. So let me go look at my errors here in Windows and see if I have any issues. Anything 316. ATG work remotely. Got that. He got that. Okay. Okay. We just got an issue going on. MAGA's big weekend. Alabama Supreme Court. Here we go. Alabama Supreme Court decision to throw out in vitro. It says in throwing the future in vitro fertilization in doubt for the state was talk of Politico's Governor's Summit today. 3 prominent Republicans for governors, Brian Kemp, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, and New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, are supported IVF, position themselves closer to the public opinion. Kemp and Lee didn't weigh on the specifics on the Alabama ruling. Sununu, who supports most abortion rights, called the decision scary and said you want to make sure these services are accessible. It's possible to turn it down, please. Let's see. And the Cameron Lee didn't weigh specific on Alabama ruling. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Look at the Sims. Okay, so the Sims that we got going on right now. Yeah. And then. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, guys, okay. That's no remote. You want? No, I'll try. All right. I'll look at those in a minute. I have to work on my. I'll look at those in a minute. Amazing, grown men acting that way. Okay. Let's see. All right. Rotation. All right. Let's see. Yep. Behind the old army way. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom, boom. I'll open it up another one. Okay. People, no, they're not happy. That's all BS. Okay. So, we got that. Ooh, we got an attack on Italy, United Kingdom, Israel, Russia. Got a
Hey,
cyber.
Henry, we're getting started, buddy.
Okay.
You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, loud and clear. I got you.
Yeah. I'm in class, yeah. I took a little break. No, I got 2 students this week. So, yeah. But you said that I saw the text, like I got the call, I got to find out what was up. No, last week I was. This week I'm in Georgia. Yeah. Yeah, dude, we gotta link up, man. We do. I have I'm good on the weekends now because when I go down to I go down to Warner Rock, I'll be free, man. I'm just gonna one Friday, or maybe next Friday. Next Friday, I think I'll just drive back out to Warner Rock and hang out somewhere because it ain't that far from Johns Creek. Yeah, we're definitely gonna link up, man. All right, man.
Okay. That's the same one. Oh, that's a different one. That's a different one. Okay, got that.
Alright, so
Yeah.
my friend texted me and he said he lost his job and he needs a job.
Huh.
So I said, and this guy's the ultimate hustler. He's never worked for anybody ever.
So what is he?
Business. Huh?
So what's his specialty? What's his certification?
He's at MSP. He owns an MSP.
Oh.
Service provider.
Oh wow.
So he's like a business owner. He owned a club too.
Wow.
Making $20,000 a week.
Wow.
Club. But then he sold his club. He got a kid, and he's at the point in his life where he doesn't need to work, but he's getting bored at home.
Mm-hmm.
So he just wants. He said he wants an easy, remote IT position.
Mm.
Basic help desk, like something you can do at home.
Wow.
And bring in like $25.
Some passive income, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you know of any positions hiring, whatever, for easy remote positions, let me
Okay.
know.
We'll do.
All right, so we have here this Wi-Fi config setup.
Yep.
So again, this is probably like 99.9% gonna be on your exam, right?
We did this yesterday. Remember?
If you take it not if you don't wait too long. You said what?
We did this yesterday. Remember? We did this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's make sure. Okay.
All of these we're going over again. We did yesterday.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any more.
Oh, okay.
You've seen all the Sims.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to add anything off the rip. And you'll be like, oh, wait, we didn't see this.
Okay.
But the reason I'm doing it again is because repetition.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So what we me fill out here, gang. I'm just gonna ask you guys today for SSID.
Okay, so the SSID is going to be already the corporate guest that was in the Wi-Fi controller. We put that in the client.
Okay. What about username pass?
Okay, the username pass come from the top of the page where the instructions.
You both set up at the top. Yes. But the top is right. What about PSK?
We make that up our own. That's going to be our own private 8-character passcode.
Very good. What about the authentication type for the client?
Okay, for the client, that's going to be WP2 Enterprise.
WPA2. Yeah. Anything else we do here?
We press the save button, that green button, lock it.
Save button. That's not it. You hit the save button. You hit the X. Okay. What about shared key? What do we put here?
Okay, that's going to be a secret coming from the radius server.
All right. What about AAA?
Okay, that's going to be the IP address of the radius server, .1.20.
And we already filled this out,
Right, the PSK,
What's the authentication type?
WPA2, EAP, PAP, MS, CHP version 2.
Yeah, he said the longest one. So we don't close this yet because we need one thing from it. That's the client IP, right?
Roger.
What's the authentication type for this?
Active Directory.
Active Directory. All right, very good. So we got these firewalls. We know that we need to go into each firewall, and we're going to have to do what? Deny clear text traffic, ensure secure management, and we have to fix an issue at the DR site, which is this one. So we go into our first router, our first firewall, specific. All right, I'm going to zoom out here. This is actually too zoomed in. See if I can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I looking to do? Yeah, and I do that for this one, and
2, 3, and 4 is going to be.
oh, it's only 3, so I do it for 1, 2, and 3.
2, 3.
All right.
It's 2 answers on 3.
Oh, so you don't know because you don't know what I've changed in this picture and what has remained the same in this picture, right? Because, yeah, I mean, obviously here it looks like this probably is permit, you can just deny. But I don't know what has been changed or what's been modified here. So there's 3 things, I guess is what you're trying to say. There's 3 things we got to do on firewall 3 and 2 things we got to do on firewalls 1 and 2, right? Yeah, so yeah, HTTP and then SSH for management, and there's 3 things. What's the 3rd thing on firewall 3?
Make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay, that's it.
IP address. IP address is incorrect. Very good. Moving to the next one. That's pretty easy. It's easy because you've seen it before. But if you got that off the rip on the exam, you're going to be scared. An attacker sends multiple sync packets. And what do we do to mitigate?
We're going to do multiple sync packets. Boom, boom, boom. That's going to be botnet enabled DDoS, right?
Yes. What about you said yes. Ricky's going through it. No, you're good. You're good. So he said rat, and what do we do over here?
Implemented a host IP. Yes. The host
That's
base.
the wrong answer. I told you guys that's the wrong answer.
That's right. That's right. You did.
Disable remote services.
That's right. That's the wrong answer on that one, on the right.
What about self-propagating? And? So we don't have, none of them are that one. So get that out of your head. None of them are that one. Get that out of your head. It is. I'm not sure why. It says that we have a well-known credentials. If I know the credentials, what I got to do? That's it.
Say that again. Say that again.
Application.
Make sure I get that. Can you
What
say that
about the
again?
attacker hardware remotely monitor? We said that this one is going to be a worm, and we change the application password.
Oh yeah, I guess I see that. Gotcha. Okay, that's the worm one. Gotcha. That's
Keylogger, yeah.
And that's gonna go disable vulnerable services, right?
Disable vulnerable services. Henry beat you on that one. That was good. Memorize is okay too. Attack embeds hidden access. And what do we do?
Implement 2FA to push notification.
That's it. Implement 2FA. Please make sure on your own, guys, you should be going over these SIMs.
Yeah, I am.
On your own.
Yeah, I do remember.
Just because I go over in class, don't be like me.
Man, wait till last minute.
And I told you, I thought I knew it until I got on there, and I was like, should have done it. This one's easy, right? This says to go in and implement whatever the rule is stating as far as the accounting workstation can only access the web server. I'm not going to take the time for you guys to go over this, but we go to the accounting. All right. We look at the web server.
Right.
And then we look at the protocol.
Right.
For 3. So that's going to be from to allowing HTTPS. So that's what they have down here. From to HTTPS, which is TCP ending. So we repeat that, and we get all of the steps down here.
Yep.
This one, we're going to, again, take our time.
Remember, we can't rush, right? We got to take at least 3
Not
minutes.
rush on any of them.
Oh, yeah,
Any of
technically.
them, especially the SIMs.
Yeah,
If you feel
don't
you're
rush on
rushing the
anything.
SIMs, just flag the SIM, do all the questions, and at the very last question, when you hit next, it won't end your exam.
Okay.
It'll actually take you to a screen that's going to say, would you like to review your flag questions?
Okay.
So then go back and you can click review flag, or you can actually click on the independent question. I suggest you click on review flag, because if you click on the independent question,
Might forget one.
yeah, you might forget which one you clicked on.
Review flag. Remember that. Review flag.
Over all the questions you flagged.
Okay.
So if you just flag the first 5, you're like, hey, I'm gonna do these later.
No.
I'll go right back to the first 5.
Yeah, I'm on review flag. Yeah.
So what type of attacks do we see on the tablet? Alright. And then we're gonna click and drag these. So where's my input validation going?
Input validation is going to.
Database overview.
Yeah, input validation is going to. Should go to the database. Yeah.
Talking code review. Where's code review?
Oh, the code review. Code review is going to go to application source code.
Application source code.
Right.
Code.
Make sure.
WAF.
That's going to go to the web server.
Web server. URL.
That's going to the web server as well.
URL is what you type in for a website. So that's why it's always going to be web server. The URL is that HTTPS www.
Mm-hmm.
That's a website. So URL is web server.
Mm-hmm.
Record level access control.
CRM server.
No, CRM. You need to go over this one again. Yeah. Tomorrow you need to know that like by heart. This is probably 99% going to be an exam. This is like an easy 20 points. So there's no reason for you to miss that, especially when you got the answers. What type of attack is going on in this picture?
So that is because of the N-1, NC-1. That's a rat.
It's a rat. So NC Netcat is a tool that allows us to remotely connect. So they've remotely connected and they're listening on port 31337, and they're going to execute a bin bash command that says, hey, I want to download this file, and then I want to display to the user that we just downloaded a virus. It's a rat. So I'm going to read through this one because I didn't read through it yesterday. User grep John. This is Linux. Grep means to filter for users that have the name John. In the Etsy password directory. What's in the Etsy password directory? Users. Not passwords.
User
It's going
directory.
to look through all the users, but it's only going to filter for the user John.
Okay.
If the user's name is John, then open up MySQL SQL database, as a admin, escalate their user credentials to the root, enter in this password, and execute drop database. So it's going to drop whatever database is running.
Wow.
And cron tab, cron is to schedule that as a task. So it's going to happen over and over and over again. Every time this person logs in, it's going to drop the database.
Wow.
So if this happens, then this happens. That's a
bomb, a logic bomb.
You got to go over this again, brother. That's a logic bomb. The key here is if. Bomb goes off. If this happens, something bad's going to happen. It's a logic bomb. It's not an injection because we don't have 1 equals 1.
Right.
We don't have or, we don't have select. We have this.
Just regular if.
Anytime you think about logic bomb, think about the word if.
Gotcha.
It'll help you out on any other exams, not just Security Plus. When you get to CISP, you're going to have similar questions like this when you have code.
Okay. Practice that.
All right, and then we got to click and drag here.
Mm-hmm. Good drag. Good drag.
So this one I don't have. I think I have it in the exam. I don't know what number it is, but the answers are selected, so you can kind of use that to gauge if you remember. Of course, the answers are selected here, but we're going to read through it.
Okay.
Valid copies of internal audit reports from a private company. Private company, we're looking through what could we write private? Well, that's corporate.
Corporate confidential.
Confidential. Copies of financial audit reports. Exchange traded copies. Exchange traded copies, we don't care because that should be publicly available to anybody.
True.
So that one, again, that was public.
Corporate.
Database containing driver's license. Driver's license, I already know what that is. That's considered PII. Decommissioned mechanical hard drive containing thoughts and ideas, source code, intellectual property. Again, employee records. Already know that's PII. And customer records with the key here is medical data. That's PHI. So starting from the bottom, how do we get rid of paper-based records?
Oh, we're gonna sure.
Starting from the bottom, how do we get rid of records on the SSD?
Oh yeah, we're gonna deguy.
We can't deguy.
Oh no, that has no parts. It's gonna destroy. You gotta tear that thing up.
No
It's SSD. Yeah, I keep thinking regular hard drive.
There's
Yeah.
no metal. The answer's wrong. So please don't. That's why we're going over it. Please don't reference the answers that I have marked there. The answer's wrong. This is going to be shredding. All right. Mechanical drive.
That should be
mechanical drive. Database containing license and a reusable tape. Well, we don't want to shred that. Reusable. What about copies of financial reports on a flash drive?
That would be deguy.
You got with your face.
A copy of the reports on a flash drive. That's gonna be deguy.
Let's do this. Hang on. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to see if he knows it. Let me go here. I don't want you guys using. I don't even think I gave you guys. I did give it to you. I gave you guys a PDF like this, but I don't want you guys using the PDF. It's a PDF. One, doesn't contain all the questions.
Right.
And two, should I do Control F here? I don't even know if I can do Control F on this PDF.
Okay.
What is that? Actually, I don't need that. I can scroll through over here. See if I can find it real quick. I'm scrolling through the questions. I'm seeing if I can find that question in my PDF. It might not even be there.
Spend so much time on questions, like I can't remember. I started looking over.
I did the same thing. Trust me. I focused more on the questions than I did on the sims. But then I wished when I got an exam. So here's that question where this is a tablet, by the way. So when you click on the tablet, this is what you're gonna see on the tablet. This happens to be question 478. 478 on your practice exam, you're actually gonna see this. Remember, you can't interact with this.
Right.
I do have a picture of what's on the tablet. Right. 476. You should have saw that last night, right? We did 415, 515 last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you saw that last night. I mean, like I said, I don't have that. Oh, I do. It's right here. We saw this on the first day of class. Question is this: 599. So 599, we actually did see this. We go here. $599 was that was Tuesday's homework, right?
Right.
Now you don't have to cover your eyes. So
Thank you.
try.
There you go.
Found copies of internal audit reports. Where are we classifying that? We're gonna start over. Classify. We're gonna start all over. It's the last one. Okay. Corporate confidential. Good job. What about copies of financial audits on exchange traded?
Remember, it said that's going to be public because that's exchange traded.
There you go. Database containing driver's license.
Okay, that's going to be
Alright. PII.
PII.
Commission hard drive containing source code.
Oh God, that's
SSD,
intellectual.
employee records.
Okay, like that's going to be that's going to be destroyed. That's going to be
Yeah.
That's going to
Yeah,
be
what you saying? I didn't hear you. Yeah, I know. I don't know why you said that. That's what I thought you said. That's wrong.
I work in the hospital, so when I see you have to do
Oh, okay.
in private health, it's not my fault.
So which one? This is PII. PII. Employee records is PII. Medical data is PHI. Alright, starting from the bottom. Where am I clicking and dragging 6? Shreds. Paper. Employee records on an SSD. Shredded. And I put it in degaussr. Mechanical drive. Yes. Database containing a license information on the backup page. Reusable. Well, it says it's reusable and a database containing a driver's license. So multi-pass, multi-wipe, right? Copies of financial audit reports, public exchange on a flash drive. Well, it says it's public records. So you have public records on your USB. Are you going to shred your USB because you have public stuff on it?
Well, I don't think it's physical destruction, like start breaking.
What would you do? Would you shred it or would you just wipe it? Okay. But I'm just trying to think of it as a logical. Valid copies of internal audit reports. Private company. Shred. There's copies, there's paper, or shred.
Yeah, I was doing too much on this.
Alright. I think that's it. That's it, gang. That's all the sims. We did all the sims again. We'll do them again tomorrow. My job is to make you tired of the sims. So that it's gonna be like second nature. The time you get on there, you're like, man, I've seen this like 20 times.
Okay. I
We
appreciate
got
that.
15, 16 tomorrow. You all have a good evening. You got another 100 questions to do.
Yeah.
Put a 900% right there.
Yes,
Time to make a random test.
you can. So you can go on your homework. Ricky's asking about how can we like practice like a test. If we wanted to test ourselves, you can go on the homework and you can say, take 90 questions from the entire exam.
Yeah, that's what I've been
100
doing.
Questions on that.
Yeah.
It's actually on the 82. We'll let you know now. It's probably about 82 questions you actually see.
Out of 715.
on the exam. So it says up to 90 questions, what we talked about on Monday, but you'll probably see 82. I've seen a security post exam had 75 on there before.
Out of 715. Yeah. I'm gonna work on
Fewer
715.
questions, that scares me because the fewer questions, that means I can only miss fewer.
Right.
The more questions, that's
I got more of a
good.
chance.
I can miss more questions.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, what's tonight's homework?
That's
you
going to
guys do
be
last night?
215 and 315, right?
So 315. All right, so 315. Yeah, because roughly, you know, you're not going to see the first 300. Not to say they cannot pop up,
Mm-hmm.
but you randomizing 90 questions, that's going to be a good test for you because you're going to get some of those first 300 questions in that random 90,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to get some that you know.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So,
I'll practice that when I randomize.
yeah,
Okay.
you guys have more than enough questions.
Yeah. Yes.
For
Yes.
practice, right?
Yes, we do. Okay.
More than enough.
Thank you.
But,
Thank you.
you should see a lot of these. A lot of these should pop up on exam. The sooner you take it, the better.
Yeah,
obviously.
because they'll change the exam. I got
I
it.
don't think they're going to change it though,
Oh.
because 601. Oh no, 701. You guys are in 701.
Yeah, we're in 701.
I'm thinking about my class next week. My class next week's thinking 601.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So 701. You guys are really, like I said, you guys are the first class I've taught 701 on, and the instructor next door, she took 701. She said a lot of the 601 questions are on the 701.
Okay.
So I expect when you guys take this exam that you guys should see a lot of these questions, specifically 615 to 715, hint, hint.
Okay.
Those are the more recent questions.
Gotcha.
Those are the ones that just added. So when 601 is getting ready to expire, I noticed they started putting a lot of new questions on 601. Those
Okay.
are 701 questions on 601.
Gotcha.
So those last 100 questions are a lot of those newer questions that they started adding. Right? So even these people taking 601 next week, they're still going to be seeing 701 questions on the 601. Right?
Gotcha.
But you should see a lot more of the last 100 questions on your exam.
All right, definitely. Thank you.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Nope. You're doing a great job. Gotta do our part. That's it.
You gonna be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Okay.
I don't know why my camera ain't working today. That's weird. My mic's working, but they said no camera found. You jinxed me. You sent me some thing about a camera on my desk, and now my camera on my laptop's not working.
Oh no. It's supposed to have plug and play. You know, with the Windows 11. Yeah, I had to go and work on the camera settings on the.
See a camera.
Huh. And you got Windows 11, right?
Yeah, I got this Lenovo ThinkPad, so he might be acting up today.
I've had that problem with my Windows 11. I got a Windows 11 Omen, and it's kind of different in the Windows 10. So the camera settings, it's I had to find it under. How did I find my camera settings here? It was under sound. See what sound settings, camera settings. It was under camera settings.
Yeah, my camera's working.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
You see, it's working.
Yeah.
It's Teams. Teams doesn't see my camera.
Oh.
So I think I just got to close and reboot the app. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be here tomorrow, so
Yeah. We'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, all right. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
we're gone. See you,
All
man.
right. Alrighty. Bye.
All right.
All right. 715 questions. 90 out of 715. Okay. All right, this question. Let's talk about what we just heard. Okay, so the biggest rule we're going to rule is we're going to get all 715 done. We're going to have to understand those sims. We go to the randomizer. We're going to take 90 questions from the entire exam file. And that's the one we'll do. So we'll take 90 questions. First off, we'll set up the randomizer. Then take 90 questions out of the 715 questions. Man, so that means if you got I was 800, 80% of 90, do the math. 80% of 75 questions is what, 50 something? Alexa, 80% of 75.
80% of 75 is 60.
60. Oh, I gotta get 60 right. So you only can miss 15. Okay. I only can miss 15. Gotcha. Must get 60 questions, correct? Out of 75 to pass test. Alright. Gotcha. Alright. Alright, you heard that, guys, for the video. 60 questions. Can't play around. You can't miss no 59. Gotta get 60, baby. I'm aiming for at least 70. My goal is 70 out of 75. But I don't know for 100, but I don't know. At least guarantees I pass out of 75 questions. 90-some%. To get it to pass the test, that'll be 80%. 80% pass. Rate 75 out of 75. Let's start talking. Okay, let's see a video. Stop team, stop. Let me check my RAM. Get started on this question. Be down to what? Still 17? Why am I at 17? Well, that should not be that many gigabytes. Hold up, let me close everything. Let's see what's going on. What we got need tonight? Oh, that's right. Don't forget, we got over 5 Beta Sigma meeting tonight. Did we get the passcode? Did I get that? What time is it? 4:17. God, I don't have to. Let's see. Brother Harden just said. What did he say? Yeah, I got that. Okay, I got that. Okay. Come on, brother. Yep, I responded to that. Oh, there we go. So it did. It's going to be today at 9 o'clock. And, okay, a link. Let's call Brother Harden.